It's the weekend Warriors. Warriors come to play.
Yeah, here we go.
Good Saturday morning, everybody. We're broadcasting live from the Weekend Warriors studios in beautiful Peoria, Arizona. I'm Ralph Romano, alongside my partners in crime. You know him as the legend, Neil Lynch, and the legendary, chestful, Philip Amorine. And this is the Weekend Warriors.
Hey, kids, get involved in the show. We want to hear from you. This show depends on you. Well, it doesn't really, but we would love to have your involvement in the show, because the three of us could talk forever and ever and never read a comment ever. But if you want to get involved in the show, here are two ways to do it. The first one is you can comment on any of our live social media platforms. That's X, that's YouTube, that's Facebook. Or if you are so inclined, you can use the Weekend Warriors text line. That's 866-412-6366.
Give me that Depends diaper one more time.
One more time, 866-412-6366. Operators are standing by. This offer may end at any time, so please text now.
Phil? Mike in the chest.
I knew this would do a little something for you when I put this number on.
I mean, I'm wet right now just watching you, so it's fantastic.
Absolutely.
That's because I dumped water on you.
It's a wet show.
Oh, you dump water on me, all right.
Got to douse that boy.
Douse that boy.
This is heated rivalry, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Rivalry. All right, so we're going to start where we should start.
Like sands through the hourglass, so are the games of last week.
Do we have a game that we need to talk about?
It's Henderson. He is tackled in bounds. 3, 2, 1. The Seahawks. They're bringing it home again for the second time in less than 12 years. The Seahawks win Super Bowl 60. They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest, and the party begins at Levi Stadium and in Seattle, and it won't stop for days.
The party begins, and it's still going. Still going.
Ralph, are you going to travel to Seattle at some point so you can dry hump the Lombardi Trophy?
I did tell my wife this week that we will make a trip to Seattle sometime in early next season, so we can
dry hump the
just
Lombardi.
Experience some things and be part of the defending champion run and
experience
how that goes.
Some things.
Yes. What I like about Seattle, the way it's made up, is there's a hotel right next door to the stadium.
Yeah.
So you stay in that hotel, you basically walk out, you're at the stadium, you can walk down the street and you've got all the stuff going on. So we're going to have that fun experience at some point. So I can't wait for that.
So hopefully you can do it when you can catch a Mariners game one day.
That would actually be a good idea.
Yeah.
So if you did it early in the season, because then, because that's right there too. That's
a good point, catch a big dump.
So let's talk about the dumper.
Yeah, the big dumper.
The big dumper. You can go see him right down the street.
Well, they are Italian, so they're into dumps as well as the big dumper. So that's true.
Riley.
Well, they're right down the street if you want to go see them.
Absolutely.
Less than a mile from here.
Yeah, I would know where their stadium is.
How would you know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think he knows we know. Although I got to say that was actually. Can we stop for a second?
Yes.
And can we stop for a second? If you didn't know this, but
can we talk about this?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So Phil got engaged to Sports Girly, and it was arguably the most well orchestrated, well planned out proposal that I have ever witnessed in my life. And Ralph and I have been around a while.
Yeah.
But I just kept commenting the whole time. So basically the premise was that the story to get Sora to I used her name. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Sports Girly. Anyway, Sports Girly. So the premise to get Sports Girly to this location was that the former radio station was going to come back on the air, and they were going to be a broadcast partner with the San Diego Padres.
Yeah,
and there was going to be a ceremony at the Peoria Stadium to announce the partnership, right?
Nice.
To the point where they actually had it on the Jumbotron in the outfield. They had like 1580 The Fanatic, welcome.
That was great.
I made that up.
That was unbelievably perfect, right? And then what happened was, so everybody who was going to be there, they invited them all ahead of time to come sit in the stands. So the idea was that Phil and Sports Girlie would arrive and they would meet Ralph, and Ralph be like, "Hey, can you take these chairs and walk over?" And so basically forcing them to go into a certain gate. And when they walked into the gate, then all the fans who were in the stands would be cheering, and there was there was rose petals or like a shape of a heart around home plate. Yeah. And there was a photographer like out in the outfield capturing all these moments. And then they would walk over, and then he got the mic, and then he proposed, and everybody went crazy, right? But like while we were waiting for this to happen, first of all, we had location on Phil the entire time. We were getting updates from the family.
That's true.
And on top of that, in the stands, they were playing music on the PA system, but it was like Phil radio, because Phil was actually playing songs like romantic songs, love songs, kind of on a upbeat type songs. But in between songs, his voice would narrate.
It was crazy.
And he would like give little fun facts. I mean, he was talking like a sultry, light listening radio
Sappy
show.
Radio.
Sappy Radio.
Sports Girlie and Philip Radio.
It was so great. Like that was just, I listened like, this is brilliant.
The timing of it.
Oh, and the timing was almost 1,000% perfect. Yeah. It went without a hitch. By the way, I still have one of your fat heads.
You know what's so funny?
I stole your fat head.
I got some fat heads, and had I known how much of a like success that would have gone over for everybody, I would have gotten a few more, because some of her coworkers joined the event, and they took her fat head. Stop it, Ralph. I know.
Say a word.
They took her fat head, and she now has a shrine at work.
I saw that on social media.
It's so good.
Well, we took yours and put it over our bed.
Oh, good.
So you're watching us now.
Anyway, I can give you inspiration, buddy.
Yeah, well,
on the basis.
Believe me, I've been inspired. I've been inspired the last week. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
It was very impressive.
Well,
it was so great. Yeah,
Thank you.
I just
Ralph, by the way, over here. If ever you need a verified actor, my goodness, I know acting runs in the family now. My gosh.
Well, my wife's the actress.
Yeah, I was going to say your wife's the actress. You got some notes, obviously, like met us at the thing. Whole thing falls apart without Ralph. Neil was there waving the fat head. So, I mean, it was a team effort. There's no I in team, except there is an I in ring. So
it was very impressive.
Very nice.
If your marriage goes half as good as that day, you'll be all right.
Well, the key to success will be that's the last thing I will ever have to plan, I'm sure. Because she's very good at planning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, very impressive. And you got Blissful Hayes is on the text line, says, "Good morning, Ralph, Neil, and Philip. Congratulations to the future Mr. and Mrs. Sports Girlie."
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Bitter Dolphin fans on Facebook chat says, "Congratulations, Phil. Ralph, I hope you gloat all show." I'm going to have my moment. There's no doubt about it. So we're going to talk. We're going to get into this.
Speaking of
but I'm glad Neil talked about that, because that was a very impressive
all this
day.
talk is to delay the inevitable.
Yeah, that's what. Remember, Jeffrey used to do that all the time.
Oh my gosh!
But I'm glad you brought it up, because that was really it was an amazing event.
Yeah, thank you.
The way you planned it. Me and Neil were we were sick. We're like, this guy's ridiculous. I mean, to the T.
Yeah, no, I had it all timed out. Trust me, it was a group effort, and I'm glad.
So where I want to start with this game is all three of us were 100% correct.
Oh yeah,
all three of us.
I mean, come on. I had a very successful betting Super Bowl.
I was not correct on one thing. I picked the over. And,
okay, it's true.
And
came close.
Son of a beep. It was like a point below. Like
Drake Maye came so close.
Yeah, that was the only thing that. But yeah, as far as them winning, and the nature of the blowout was a little different than I expected. But it definitely was. I mean, by all objective measures, that was a butt
I predicted
kicking.
A 27-10 game. I mean, for all intents and purposes, I was spot on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you ever seen a bigger 12-0 lead in your life?
Oh,
right.
19.
Did it feel like 112-0, even though it was 12-0?
I mean,
Exactly.
12-0 going into halftime, but even at 19-0, it never. There was never a moment. Was there a moment that you felt that it was in doubt? I mean,
no.
I think the last moment I felt like it was in doubt was 6-0. And just because maybe, again, like how they scored the first time, maybe a random Mac Hollins touchdown where it's the one score that they'll have during the game, but maybe they can hold a lead. Who knows? But once they got up to 9-0.
It's like I sent out that pic, that little picture that said the Patriots. right? Because that was their new name,
Yes.
was the Punchers. I mean, I've never seen a team go 3 and out so much.
I loved all the memes afterwards, all the social media posts, just various versions of the Patriots. You know, they seemed like they were all bad and stuff, and they were going to be good until they ran across an actually good team.
Yeah.
Like I saw, and that was the knock. That was the knock that everybody had on the Patriots, was that, listen, again, you don't pick your schedule, but ultimately they didn't play a very tough schedule, including the playoffs. And so this Seattle team was going to be the absolute best team they faced all season. And most people were thinking that they were not going to rise to the challenge. And indeed, they did not.
Let's start where Phil started and I started. I think even Neil brought it up. We talked about that O-line.
That was
right?
my key of the game.
And we talked about the key person in this game we thought would be Will Campbell.
Yes.
So let's listen to, I have a little thing from Will Campbell. He talked about the game afterwards. Let's listen to Will Campbell. First of all, you can tell this is a good old boy.
I don't think one performance defines a season. I think I did some good things this year. Obviously, there's room for growth in every aspect of my game. I'm 22 years old. I have a lot of room for growth in every aspect as a player, as a leader, whether that's strength and conditioning, pass protection, run blocking, whatever it might be. I have growth for everywhere. I'm young. I'm learning. I got a great coaching staff around me. I got great veterans around me. So I'm grateful for that, and I'll be ready to go when we get back.
This guy played some of the worst offensive tackle. Not just the fact that he got blown up the whole game, but his technique was so bad. His footwork was so bad. I mean, even if you watched him warm up, they showed videos of him warming up before the game. His footwork, especially his left leg, terrible. It's like no one's ever taught him how to play the position. And he got blown up that entire game. I mean, I would have pulled him out just out of mercy. I would have put a kid that's never played before this guy. He was so bad.
The statistic was that the Patriots were starting the youngest pair of the side of a line, right? Because it was both him and left guard Jared Wilson.
Yeah,
we're
going to talk about him too.
We're rookies coming into the NFL. They'd held up the entirety of the playoffs, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
Look, Will Campbell again. The statistic is, I believe, gave up 8. It's always hard to quantify these things. The offensive line is amongst the hardest things to apply stats to, other than just the eye test. We don't have a real good measuring stick for it. So whenever ESPN slaps something up there, I'm going to trust it, and because it fits what I saw, which was lost 8 individual defensive battles. Right, like gave up 8 pressures, and the rest of the team gave up 8 as well. But he alone was responsible for 8 himself. So altogether 16. And it felt like that.
Are you sure? I saw that it says the stats that I read said that he gave up 14 QB pressures in the Super Bowl.
See, there we go. Maybe
14 pressures on 53 dropbacks, 26.4% pressure rate.
Yeah.
On him, just him.
And just him.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Look, he played so bad that almost consensus is, and this is for, again, a number 4 overall pick in a draft. This is supposed to be your left tackle of the future.
Yeah, he was a 4.
Yeah, he was number 4 this year. So, I mean, that is supposed to... Think about first lineman taken off the board in past years. You're looking at Joe Alt. Sometimes offensive linemen go so high as the number 1 pick overall. Usually, that's where you find linemen. But he played so bad that almost the analyst consensus opinion is that he is now going to be a really good left guard. Like, that's awful.
Vrabel said there's not moving him. Because the knock was online was that his arms are too short.
Yeah.
This is not an arm issue.
Oh, no.
This is a footwork
That's not
issue.
an
This
arm
is a
issue.
turning issue. He gets spun around every time. If you look at the way he sets himself, he gets turned and then they blow right through him. His technique's terrible.
Yeah. I wonder, I mean, it is convenient, but it has some evidence in that he missed 4 games during the regular season, that he played through a torn ligament. Now, whatever. Let's be fair to the man.
Can we be fair? Seattle's center and left guard are both rookies.
Yeah, but are they injured?
From North Dakota State. Yeah, their guard missed 4 games because he hurt his knee later in the season. They both held up beautifully in that game, and they had great years. So that's why I'm not buying the whole it's the first time I heard an ageist comment in reverse. I'm 22 years old, so I got a lot of time to grow. Dude, your technique's terrible. If you don't fix it, you're never going to be in this league very long. You're going to be gone in a year.
The
or two.
NFL stands for not for long for you.
Exactly.
So we'll see. Regardless, we all came to that consensus before the Super Bowl. That was what was going to decide the game, because really the offense never clicked until the defense just let up. Like that. We talked about this, Neil. Remember when you were predicting a huge blowout? I said I predict a blowout as well, but to the degree that you have it, I don't know if I do, because that's what makes it so hard in the Super Bowl. Eventually, you just want the champagne. Eventually, to go for the entire. At some point, there's a mercy, like an in mind mercy thing of just, we're up 19-0. Like by the time we ever need to care, time will run out. It's so rare that you find in previous Super Bowls a team needing to apply the gas again late. So it never felt.
You know who else knew what we knew? Mike McDonald. Because I watched, obviously, I've seen every Seahawks game. Witherspoon has a tendency once in a rare while to blitz. Eminwari is more of the blitzer, but they don't blitz a lot. That's just not who they are. They absolutely came at Will Campbell because they knew, number one, he couldn't handle the guy on the line. And they basically walked right around him and put so much pressure and sped up Drake Maye to a point where Drake Maye couldn't do a darn thing.
Yep.
I don't even want to blame Drake Maye for how bad he played. I don't think any quarterback could have played good in that. We'll get into Julian Love's. He kind of broke down Drake Maye a little bit, but I got a lot to say on Drake Maye too. I don't blame it on him 100%, but at the same time, overrated, way overrated for what they were saying he was this year. Way overrated.
Sorry, I had to clear my throat. Thanks.
And the one thing that Seattle was able to do with the front four was they were able to stay in their lanes. They just pushed that line back. And Drake Maye had nowhere to go. He couldn't. Everybody's like, why didn't you run? There was no way he could. It was very rare he had the opportunity to run, because as the four were pushing up, there was a guy coming and stunting in the middle. Where was he going to go?
Yeah. I thought for the most part, it was shown by the fact that there were like no penalties, right? 0 penalties. Was there any late that I missed? I know throughout 3 quarters.
Was there one I thought there was one in the first half. Or in the third quarter. No, there was one in the third quarter when it started. Okay. And then in the fourth, they got a little sloppy.
Very clean game. Yeah. Very well-coached game, which is
on one side.
You punish Mike Vrabel for not going for it on fourth?
I punish him for making 0 adjustments. Because what he should have done in the second half, he should have started doing some outside chipping. He should have thrown some screens. There's things he could have done to offset that pressure coming at May. He could have moved the pocket.
Oh, certainly.
He didn't do any of that. None of it.
Josh McDaniels has been a part of, I believe, 10 Super Bowls and been offensive coordinator for like at least 7 of them.
And he looked like he was a rookie having his first Super Bowl ever.
And he perpetually, I told that again, we're going through things that it was a very predictable Super Bowl for those who've been paying attention all year. Like this, very rarely do you find a predictable Super Bowl such as this. But Josh McDaniels and his offensive led teams with Tom Brady, like throughout the entirety of their run, only scored 3 points in the first half.
May I make a counter argument to that? Maybe it wasn't their incompetence. It was the fact that they knew what they had, and they knew that making adjustments wasn't going to matter anyway.
Fair.
So why bother? Why go through the extra stress and pressure
Just give up.
Making adjustments if you know it's not going to matter?
I think that they operated that way for the majority when it was 9-0. The moment it became 12-0 was where I fault Vrabel in saying, at that point, I need you to start going for 4th downs, because this is no longer one score is going to flip the entire script.
They couldn't get out of their end of the field. They've been going for 4th downs in their own territory, and they weren't successful.
With Drake Maye throws much to Kyler Murray's,
good deep ball.
Yeah, a good deep ball. So I think that they kept trying to punish them on that, but they weren't open. He didn't have the time for them to get open, and so at some point, I need early releases. I need some outlet, some dump offs. I need something to where it's like, let's try and manufacture a way to get pressure and relieve pressure from my rookie quarterback, who's not in a position, nor really should he be, to demand an adjustment, because he's so young. And you saw him in the AFC Championship, where his offensive coordinator had to calm down his nerves and bring down the temperature of the room. He's going to do whatever you want. So if things aren't working, it's incumbent upon you as the coaching staff, the organization that has been there, done this, to recognize that and to adjust it for him.
Maybe Vrabel's not that good.
He's good, man. Enough.
Is he?
For a team that
Is
we
he?
feel does not deserve, that was so blown out that we're questioning about their record, the fact that he got that team, that is the team. That is the coach for me that deserves the Lions share of the credit for them getting there.
Yeah, we'll get in there. My favorite moment, my laughing moment. I had a laughing moment in this game.
Just one?
Just one.
Wow.
Riley Mills. I love Riley Mills out of Notre Dame, 5th round pick from Seattle got.
Yeah.
He's been hurt all year.
Yeah.
All year. I think he's played a couple snaps at the end of the season. That's it. He comes into this game on the D-line. He not only takes Jared Wilson and takes him, but then he takes Drake Maye and he sacks both of them. I don't know if you saw that play, right?
I remember that.
He took them both down. That was just such a laughable moment. I was so happy for him because of the year he had. That kid's got so much talent, was such a great college player. He's going to be healthy next year, hopefully. Man, just another beast on that front line for Seattle.
The Seattle Seahawks are about the only team that don't really have a hole currently. Like, and the one that they're potentially going to have is not even one that is the one that you're best equipped to fill through the draft, which would be running back, which again, we're both under the idea that they're going to re-sign K9. But
yeah, worst case scenario, you franchise and tax him for $14.5 million. You don't lose him.
I mean, they have the 6th most cap space, so they should be able to do so.
Yeah, don't.
But this team has no weaknesses. We saw with the Rams. I mean, that really was the Super Bowl. Because that was the only team that, despite the 3 flaws that killed them in the end, the Rams were the team that could match and supersede the talent on this roster. It was just the Seahawks are a much more balanced team, have no weaknesses.
Yep.
They're not stellar everywhere. Where they're stellar is wide receiver with Jackson Smith and Jigba and that defensive line.
Cup had a game too.
Cup is
just so smart.
Cup did not come up short.
There was a route he ran, and he talked about it later, where he actually was running the wrong route, or the other guy was running the wrong route and was going to be in his area. He broke off that route to run a different route, and then Darnold found him and threw a complete to get a first down. That guy's just so smart. He reminds me of Kiki Hernandez. Kiki Hernandez, when he made that play against Toronto, that running play where he got the double play.
Yeah.
He's just so smart, right? The way he set himself
it's whether
up.
or not his body will hold up.
It's that veteran leadership, that veteran smarts. Julian Love, I want to play this real quick, but Julian Love was noticing stuff in the game. It's so funny. So he says this on the sidelines, and then the very next play, he has a pick. So let me play this from Julian Love.
Classic young quarterback. As soon as that back foot hits, as soon as the back foot hits, he's going to where he wants, but he's pausing for a second to confirm that he's open. He's not blindly doing like Stafford.
2nd down and 3. Steps up in the pocket, going to let one fly down the seam, and it's intercepted.
He saw what he saw with what he was doing, right?
So he has a tell.
Yeah, I mean, and that's Seattle's defense, right? They do that on the sideline. They really talk about what's going on. These guys are so smart, and they make adjustments in game. Yeah. I mean, next play out there, boom, he does a pick. I like how he referenced Stafford, because he's right. Stafford's so quick to get the ball away. That's why he has the success he has against Seattle's defense.
He does the no looks.
Yeah,
he'll do the no look. He knows every defense that you can possibly throw at him. Even with the defense, he's like, what are they trying to do to me? What are they trying to show me? All that stuff. Drake Maye's just trying to still get his feet wet. Like he's doing it on pure talent, and God bless him for doing so.
Yeah.
So are the Patriots a fraud? I mean, I think they were the worst team that could have been in the Super Bowl for the AFC. You know, I'd ask you guys both this question.
Chargers, I would say.
Out of all the teams in the NFC that made the playoffs, think about all the teams that made the playoffs in the NFC. Could the Patriots have beaten any of them?
Oh, in the NFC? Let's see.
Is there a team they could have beaten? I would say maybe the Panthers. I don't think they would have beat Packers. I think Packers would have beat them.
Yeah, that's a good question.
So our potential ones are the Seahawks, obviously not. Packers, hard to say.
I think the Packers beat them.
49ers, they have a shot. I mean, depends on what version of the 49ers show up.
Right.
I think as injured as they were, they probably would have beat them.
Yeah.
Rams, certainly not. No, not a chance. Panthers, possibly. And then I guess a real one depends on where it's played for me. Bears.
I think the Bears would have beat them.
Yeah, I think so.
The Bears would have ran all over them.
I guess I'm thinking about it. I don't think the Patriots would have beat any of them.
I think no more so than any other year than this season. The dichotomy of what each conference is, because you look now at what the NFC is. Sam Darnold very well can make the case that he's the second best quarterback in that conference. Very well. Now, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but
You can make the argument.
the argument.
Well,
I
I think you can, because you can't sit there and say, I know Neil plays around, but Sam Darnold played the game he had to play in the Super Bowl because he saw what was going on. Right?
Oh.
K9 took that game over.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold just had to make a few plays to win that game.
There was no flaws in the game plan with.
Where Sam Darnold had to carry the team was in the NFC Championship game.
Yes.
Yes,
And that's
he
where
did.
he played his best of his NFL professional career. And
So you might be right.
yeah, the dichotomy is that the AFC has all the quarterbacks, but teams with a lot of flaws. Like whether or not, I mean, the Ravens are potentially the best overall team, and even then, their flaws are just that their quarterback keeps getting injured, that their defense is leaking until halfway through the season when they decide to tighten up the ship. You look over at the Bills; they're a team that can't do anything, and it's just leaving the quarterback as the lone offense. The best well-rounded team was probably the Jaguars, and the Jaguars,
I agree.
yeah, the Jaguars 100% just lost to a legendary quarterback in a legendary moment, and you can't really fault them. So,
The Patriots' flaws were exposed. Their weaknesses were exposed in this game, big time.
And unfortunately, in this particular league, you are not rewarded for coming up second. You are rewarded for winning or being the worst. And there's in the middle ground is no man's land, and thus why I would accredit Mike Vrabel to getting this team to where they did, and what I think many would consider a rebuilding team. Like this team, I think, was a year early, and the fact that they, in a year early, for them to be actual perennial contenders, to make it to the Super Bowl.
But they fell into it. I'm going to say it. Look at their schedule. Sucked. It was weak. Look at their playoff run. They didn't face Allen. They didn't face Mahomes. They didn't face Lamar Jackson. Who'd they face? They faced a bad CJ Stroud, who I think he had 4 picks in that game, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And they faced Stidham, right? We all remember Stidham. Do you remember that guy? I'm not going to play it. Don't worry.
Do it.
I'm just
Do
saying.
it.
But they faced nobody to get there. They were the worst version of a team to represent the Super Bowl for a conference that I've ever seen.
And it's going to be.
I don't know about ever, but
Think
yeah,
about
they were pretty
who was
bad.
worse? Maybe the Chargers when they played the Niners, but
They were pretty bad.
And it's going to get worse because next season they have an untenable gauntlet.
they're a 6-win team next season.
And this is not being.
That's crazy.
They have a horrific. So they draw the AFC West, playing the Broncos, Raiders. That's the easy one. But then they play the Chiefs.
Hey.
They play the Chargers. They picked up the NFC North, which.
Yeah.
Neil, I mean, tell me what.
Good luck with
They
that.
ain't gonna win.
There's not
gonna win it.
There's not an easy game there.
Yeah, they're not gonna win a
Packers,
game in the
Vikings,
North.
Bears, Lions.
They might, depending on the Vikings, because they always rise to the occasion of disappointing.
They got a
So
rematch.
I don't know.
They got a rematch coming with the Seattle Seahawks
Packers are
next
way
year.
better than them,
They
man.
got the Jags. They got the Steelers, which again, the Steelers are probably your easy team that you're going to win, and they're certainly going for it with the coaching hire that they made. If they win next year, which I think is very possible, except for the fact that now they have the second worst first round pick throughout all the draft. It's going to be hard. Like they're going to need to make some big changes and not have the same team certainly that they have this year, as opposed to the Seattle Seahawks could very well make the Super Bowl again and not make any changes.
They have no weaknesses.
They have no need. Yeah.
I mean, they're going to lose a player or two in free agency because I think they're going to lose Tariq Woolen, but I think they want to. I think he goes. But other than that, maybe you lose Mafe. But he's number 7 in line in that spot, so it doesn't hurt them. They're so deep. They built it right?
Yeah.
Cheap and deep.
So in exploring
So deep,
as we
put
put
her
the final
butt to
touches
sleep.
on the Super Bowl, do you want to do the thing?
Well, not yet.
Okay.
I want to give kudos
Okay.
because no one's talking about these two guys.
Oh yeah. Somebody that we've not given credit to.
2 guys on the Seahawks that nobody's giving credit to.
All right, let me think.
Come on, who's the
ball boy?
2 guys?
Let me think. The towel manager.
The water boy.
Unsung heroes. Jason Myers, 5 field goals.
No, tremendous.
I mean, could a kicker can't win MVP? He should have maybe won it
I think
as a kicker,
I definitely think he was in contention.
right? I love Jason Myers. It's so important to have a good kicker. And then Michael Dixon.
Agreed.
What a great job punting the ball he's done all year, especially in the playoffs and that Super Bowl. Just
The New
beautiful.
England Patriots did not have any field position throughout the entire game. And also, anytime they did manage to stop the Seahawks on offense and stall them out, they were starting behind the 20-yard line perpetually the entire game. Even the touchdown that they had, they were starting from deep within their own territory. It was an impressive punter feat and accomplishment that I have not seen since Rams Patriots, that Super Bowl, which was also boring.
So here's my question then.
Yes.
So here's a question to make some points. Is this the best Seahawks team ever? Here's my points. They're the first team ever with 0 turnovers in a playoff, which is just unbelievable to even think about. Not
Especially
a single
given
turnover.
the fact that they led the league in the regular
That's what I'm
season.
saying. What a turnaround, right? So 0 turnovers in the playoffs. They trailed in the playoffs a total of 1 minute and 31 seconds the entire postseason. That's domination, right? Hasn't been done since 91.
3 games.
That defense in that game, that Super Bowl game, 6 sacks, 11 QB hits, 8 tackles for loss, and 3 takeaways. More sacks and
against a weak
takeaways.
team.
I know, but I agree with you. But a Super Bowl team, more sacks and takeaways.
Now they're a Super Bowl team.
But they are. But they were.
Gosh.
Hold on. I'm talking about the moment.
Oh my God.
They had
we
more.
go.
This is my favorite stat because of Niner fans. They had more sacks and takeaways in 2 games at Levi than the Niners had all season, which I think is funny.
That's
That's just my dig stat.
That's a
Right?
good stat. That's a
And
good big stat.
they're the first number 1 seed ever to beat 3 12-win plus teams in the playoffs. Never been done before.
So
Is this the best Seahawks team ever?
No, it is not.
Well,
Who's better?
who? Okay, so then who? Okay, so we're comparing this team to what?
Seahawks teams. So probably 2013-14 team.
Okay,
I say their best team.
that's
ever.
the only 2 you can really compare.
Well, you can
right?
go back to 2005 too.
Eh.
That was a great team.
So I could see if you're going to compare those 3 teams. I mean, I don't know. The Legion of Boom was pretty legendary.
One would
I
even
agree.
argue that the second year of the Legion of Boom was actually a better team than the first year. The second Super Bowl appearance was better. It's just that it didn't result in much.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, and this is a Ralph thing, right?
Okay.
Statistics don't matter until they do, right?
Well, I'm not even statistically asking. I'm just asking. I just threw that out there just impressively.
Yeah, well, of course, and you made your case with what? Statistics.
Well, yeah, you have to.
So I think I have no, I mean, other than the Legion of Boom, they were so dominant, almost to like a Baltimore Ravens level, that I feel like that I would say that this team this year was the most complete team to
There
win
you
a
go.
Super Bowl. So I think in that regard, that's where I would make the argument that, yeah, they were probably of the Super Bowl teams that the Seahawks have had, that was the best one. I have no problem with
100%
that
agree with Neil. That's exactly what I would have
Of
said.
course he does.
Yeah, I would agree. Those teams had an identity that this one felt a little more unsure. Where the Seahawks, it wasn't guaranteed a win if they had a lead, as opposed to those teams. They always felt like, along with Marshawn, if they got a lead, they were done.
I felt this game was over at 3-0.
Of course you did.
I mean,
You thought this game was
when you
over
watch
before
the game,
got kicked off.
I mean, when you
Right.
watch the game, it's like they were so dominant from the first snap. I mean, it was ridiculous. That defense. So to Neil's point, MOB, I mean, not mob, but that's what they do call themselves MOB, but is it the dark side or the LOB? Who's a better defense? Because now that's the question, right? I still say it's LOB at this point.
Oh, of
yeah, I
course.
right?
think so. I think the
think
Legion of Boom is
The dark side
yeah.
could be there maybe in a couple of years.
Is that what they're calling themselves right
The
now?
dark side, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I kind of look at this team the same way we'd looked at the 2001 Patriots. Remember, they were the first Super Bowl team to come out and be introduced as a team. They didn't do like they used to introduce like either the
Singles.
offense or the
Yeah, I
defense,
hate that.
depending on that. They stopped doing that. They came out as a team, and that was the thing about the Patriots is that they were a complete team. There was nobody really better than anybody else. They all played together, yada, 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 whatever. That's how I felt the Seahawks were. There was no group like they had a bunch of above average pieces that when put together made a complete machine.
true.
So I think that's why I think that they're
He's right. The 2013 version of the Seahawks, there was the friction between offense and defense. And Russell Wilson was a big part of that friction. When it's all come out now, how that people just didn't get along with him. He was very much about himself. He was very
Still is.
right. So I mean, he created a lot of friction in that locker room.
Yeah.
Where in this locker room. So I want to play this clip real quick. This is from the parade. This is Ernest Jones. There's a lot of bleeps in this.
I didn't realize I was going to play into his clip. I had no idea.
You
Just
did
so you know.
perfectly, actually.
Oh,
So
boy.
there's some bleeps in this, but let's
Sorry.
listen to Ernest Jones, who, in my opinion, from the moment he joined the Seahawks last year, has turned this defense around with his leadership. No doubt in my mind.
Ain't to say about the city of Seattle. I got 2 words for you. You.
It's bleeps.
Yeah. if you got
Oh, they didn't play the whole clip. Let me go back to the whole clip. That was weird.
anything to say about the
I
city,
guess it was. Okay. But anyway, he's basically saying, don't talk bad about my quarterback. Don't talk bad about my defense. Don't talk bad about my city. We're not going anywhere.
He's also saying that Don Julio was pretty good today.
No, he wasn't drunk yet. Yet.
Oh, listen.
Yet.
Well, if you're drinking Don Julio, you're at the wrong party. They can afford better than Don Julio. Ugh. Anyway.
So this, to Neil's point, this is the most complete team in a long time.
Yes.
I think in the NFL, there's just such a complete team. All three phases of the game. We talked about this all year. And they hit on all cylinders, all three phases. They seem very together. They play for each other. This is just a heck of a team. So, I mean, this was the destiny of this team. We'll see what happens next year. But I think they're set up for the future, no doubt. Last thing about this. Mike McDonald. I know you're gonna. I gotta have my moment.
Yeah, yes, I know.
I want to talk about Mike McDonald. So Skip Bayless was talking about Mike McDonald real quick. So let me play Skip Bayless. I know Neil loves Skip Bayless.
It's a blast from the past.
I love Skip.
Here we go.
The one fact that vaults Mike McDonald to the top of my list, they have won 14 of their last 15 road games. That's impossible. I've been doing this a long time. I've never heard of anything like this. You can't do that in this league. Yeah. It's too hard. To go 14 of your last 15 on the road, something is happening there.
How is he not coach of the year? Mike Vrabel is coach of the year?
It was a big
year.
Are
you kidding me?
I mean, there's Ben Johnson as well, Mike Vrabel.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, it was a tough
I would have rather had Ben Johnson than Mike Vrabel.
I agree with that.
Honestly.
I agree with that.
Because you look at what they did. I mean, you take, again, the schedule becomes an issue, right? You played a bunch of, as it turns out, again, you didn't plan this, but they all ended up being a bunch of cream puffs, and you get there. Whereas Ben Johnson had to fight through the gauntlet, which is the NFC North, and he came out on top. So yeah, I agree. I don't think Vrabel, but I don't think Mike McDonald gets it, because I also am very careful to not always just give the coach of the year to the Super Bowl champion.
Agreed. No, I understand.
And also, there was an ascension there where they were already
2 years though, and he's in the Super Bowl.
Agreed. But I mean, the fact that you can turn around that quickly, I think, is always going to lead my case for saying, yeah, I can directly attribute it to coaching, because especially, lest we forget, when Mike Vrabel got this job, the over-under for this team was about 8.5. So I mean, I realize we can say now where we are standing that a Super Bowl team did not deserve to be there. A Super Bowl team was undeserving of the spotlight. A Super Bowl team had an easy schedule. All that being said, we knew the schedule at least for the playoffs. And not only did we not say that this was not just barely getting in the playoffs, it was questionable that they would make the playoffs, let alone that they would be a number 2 seed tied for the number 1 seed, let alone making it to the Super Bowl. Had either team won the Super Bowl, it was still, and you predicted it prior to the season, you would have made a ton of money. A ton of money.
60-1, yeah.
60-1 for the Seahawks, 100-1 for the
Patriots. I still say the Patriots just dumb luck backed into it. That's all it was.
Sure,
it was dumb luck.
Yeah,
that schedule and that playoff run.
But had they won, we would not have said it would have remedied all that.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. And I said that over and over again leading up to it, that if the Patriots somehow managed to win that game,
yeah, you did,
we would all shut up. We'd be like, okay, y'all were real.
We would have stuck it in Ben's face.
Okay, so Sports Girlie's on YouTube. She says, agree with Neil. There's nothing Vrabel could have done. The Seahawks defense has shown all season that there's no offense positioning or offense plays that can stop. Unless they can't stop.
Unless they play an actual veteran legacy quarterback.
And bitter Dolphin fan on Facebook
Baker
says,
Mayfield.
do you think they should have, as one adjustment, added another lineman?
I mean, he's joking.
I think they actually tried that. And there's a series where they did that. They brought in an extra lineman in.
Brought in an extra tight end to chip block.
And what happened in that? They got sacked.
Yeah.
It didn't help.
That's embarrassing. You bring in extra protection and you still get sacked.
You know, the one thing that came out of this game for me,
it's like a hole in
is how good Matthew Stafford really is.
Oh, yeah. I thought that this validated the MVP. And really,
it made the MVP race look stupid that Drake Maye was even in the same breath with Matthew Stafford. Right?
There are times where MVP races get validated or get rendered moot by postseason pursuits. But that being said, Matthew Stafford, the fact that anybody was even voting, that somebody gave a first place vote to Justin Herbert was absurd. But yes,
that is pretty ridiculous.
Very rarely do you get to see a back-to-back true litmus test for both quarterbacks and see how one succeeds and how one does not. Granted, Drake Maye would have probably very much enjoyed having a Puka Nacua, would have very much enjoyed having a Devontae Adams, but Matthew Stafford, one could argue, did not have the easy schedule that probably would have led to a 15-1 team or something.
You know what gets me? If you look at Drake Maye's record against the 5 winning, or what he did against the 5 winning teams that they played this year, he was terrible.
Yeah.
Stats were really bad. He doesn't play well against a good team. He just doesn't.
He's got a lot of room for
done it all
improvement.
year.
He to me is still a project quarterback to where he is still developing. He's not there. I mean, a lot of these quarterbacks, we want them as ready-made things. At this point in Josh Allen's career, he was throwing more interceptions than touchdowns.
Yeah.
We have to remember that he is very young. He's a young person. He's a young quarterback. Yeah. He's just young in all the sense of the word. So that's what brings you optimism. That's what brings you hope if you are a Patriots fan, and hope that they can come back and bring it back for years to come. One would worry. I don't know. I don't know that they possibly can make it back because of the conference that they're in.
I don't think they can.
If any team could do it, it's this organization. If any team can do it, it's a coach with his pedigree. I think that there is a possibility. It's hard, though. Within the past 50 years, there's only 2 quarterbacks who have lost their first Super Bowl and made it back. And that's Jalen Hurts.
That's true.
And then my beloved John Elway. Outside of that, to win a Super Bowl, it's just those 2. Yeah. And to make it, I think, is 2 more. And to even go back to back, if you're the Seahawks, that's also tough, a hard one. That's going to be very tough.
In that division, I mean, in that conference with the Rams, the Rams are going to, this is probably Stafford's last year, right? And he wants to go out on top. And I wouldn't doubt to see him getting the Super Bowl next year. It wouldn't surprise me one bit.
No, absolutely. I think
where's the Super Bowl next year?
LA, baby.
We talked about this pre-show. And Matthew Stafford got to the one that was in LA and won.
Funny enough.
Imagine
your only 2 Super Bowl victories are in your home stadium. That's a crazy stat to think about. Anyway, sorry, Phil.
But
go ahead,
no, you're fine. We talked about this before, but to your point, Ralph, that division is incredibly loaded. You got 2 Hall of Fame coaches, and the one who's not, that is of worthy contention, that's not a new coach, just won the Super Bowl, and Mike McDonald. And we don't know where he's going. I mean, he could very well be a Hall of Famer. I mean, if his 2 years, first 2 years say anything, then wow. Yeah.
I mean, but you never know.
So you think about the NFC. You got the NFC West and the NFC North, and the AFC. You've got the AFC West, baby.
AFC West is pretty tough. I mean, if the Raiders have pieces, they just don't have an offensive line.
All right.
But they will. Can I say one more thing? I'm sorry. I want to say one more thing. And I know you guys can relate to this. No, I think you can relate to this. So as a fan of the Seahawks, right? For me, when your team's in the Super Bowl and you watch them come out of the tunnel, like for me, that's a chill moment, right? For me, it was, again, that's happened 4 times now.
As in you get chills?
You get chills, right? To see your team run
Very
out.
different
run
to
out
get
of the
chills
tunnel.
than to be chill.
This is the Ralph Human moment, right? This is really the Ralph Human moment. I do have
let me hang on. Let me pay attention to this one. Here we go. All right, I'm ready to go.
I mean, when they came out of the tunnel, I got chills.
Did you cry?
Right? I almost did.
Did you tear up?
Honestly, I'm not going to lie. I almost did. That's how important football is, I think, to most of us.
When did you tear up?
I didn't tear up. I teared up when
the halftime show came around.
When they won their first Super Bowl, I absolutely teared up. But you get chills when they come out of the tunnel. And you know, one of the only things I could think about, every NFL fan should be able to experience this with their team. It sucks that they can't. And I know we make fun of people and we talk about the Browns and this and the Cardinals.
Jets fan.
Right. But it's such a great moment for you as a fan. The NFL is, we're Dodger fans. We see them win all the time, Laker and all that stuff. But there's something about the NFL and the Super Bowl. It's just different.
Yeah, when the Packers won Super Bowl 31, I lived in Green Bay, so that was incredibly special.
Right.
And then Super Bowl 45, I hosted a Super Bowl party at my house. And yeah, I agree. It's the same thing when you see your team come out. I didn't feel that way necessarily about the Rams when they won because I'm kind of a Rams fan. But yeah, I get it. When you're the team you've invested so much in emotionally, when they get to that point, it's crazy. And that's why, by the way, segue for Dodgers fans, that's why I'm loving this run right now, because you and I dealt with Frank McCourt and that whole nonsense when the stands were empty and people were protesting outside on Sunset Boulevard.
As they should have.
As they should have.
So I really do. My hope is that every fan gets to experience that, because I think it's just something you should experience as a fan. It would suck to go through life and not get that. Just think about that. It'd be like the one thing you're missing. I don't know. I love that moment. It's a great moment. As a Bronco fan, I'm sure you love that moment.
He says that full, fat, and happy right now. But
I've had a good 4 months.
The moment that the Cardinals make it over as Seahawks is when he's going to start.
But still, even then, and I give Cardinal fans a lot of garbage. They've been there, so they've had that
they
moment.
haven't won, yeah.
So there's 2 moments. So there's getting there, and then there's winning. I'm just saying, just even getting there is such a big deal, right? So, and I will give this for Sam Darnold. You know, somebody said this, and I thought it was funny. I thought of Neil right away. He went from seeing ghosts to seeing his reflection in the Lombardi. So you can give him all the crap you want. He's a Super Bowl champion. No one's ever going to take that away from him. He's a perfect fit. He's a perfect fit for this team. And he does a great job with the Seahawks. And I look forward to his next few years in Seattle. Remember, is he 28?
Yeah.
I mean, he came out
young.
He's a young dude. So he's got his whole career ahead of him. I'm really, and Bitter Dolphin fans on Facebook says, what do the three of you think of Dan? Was it Orlovsky? Comment that Sam Darnold is the greatest quarterback redemption story of all time.
No, 0. Not the best.
Yeah.
The best is Kurt Warner. Period. End of story. Full stop. Sam Darnold's good.
I think he may be right there at second.
Here's the thing about Sam Darnold's story. It's good, but it's different because Kurt Warner was about somebody who nobody gave him a shot, right? Like he never had that opportunity to fail. Like he got run out of training camp with the Packers. And he was, bagging groceries or throwing rolls of toilet paper at the Hy-Vee in Iowa, right? And then the Barnstormers, and then he got on with the Rams. And then because of a series of circumstances with Trent Green, he ends up being the quarterback and doing what he does, right?
It's crazy.
I think the Sam Darnold story is different in the sense that he actually played at the NFL. Mm-hmm. And he got a shot. He had a couple of shots with different teams, and he was 3 different teams, in fact, and was disregarded.
4.
So that's true. So I can understand with the Niners, right? So you can understand why people would think it's the best story, but
it's the best recent story.
That's the case of where he actually had time in the NFL. What makes the Kurt Warner story better is he didn't have significant time in the NFL before that. I mean,
the first time, what did he spend like a day with the Packers?
Yeah. And
he got cut pretty quick.
And the first time that he got a shot, he had to be great, or else he was going to lose the job.
Right, exactly. And
that is by far the greatest story.
So, but I think Sam Darnold's is. I don't want to take away from Sam Darnold. It is a great story, not the greatest, but it is probably top 3 or 5 that I know of.
Kurt Warner is the greatest redemption story almost in life, as opposed to
Sam Darnold. Close to Rudy.
Yeah, as opposed to
Rudy.
Sam Darnold's in career. Because had it not worked out for Sam Darnold at either stop of Minnesota Vikings or even to the Seahawks, he would have still been a millionaire. Like Kurt Warner, if it wasn't then with the Rams, he had nothing. Nobody was going to know who Kurt Warner was. So
right. So I'm hearing there's still a chance for Shedeur Sanders. That's what I'm hearing.
No redemption when you're already starting out your career as a Pro Bowler. Let me tell you.
Boy, that is so hilarious.
Oh my goodness.
So can we switch to this Jock Tax thing?
Oh my God.
I want to talk about it. So I want to play this. This is Boomer talking about the Jock Tax.
The name fits.
For winning the Super Bowl, the winning team, each player gets $178,000. In other words, the Super Bowl isn't a part of their salary. And because the game was played in California, and California has a jock tax, and they look at duty days. So each team spends 7 days in the state of California. So those are 7 duty days, and they pierce your regular salary at 3.5%. So he has to pay when you take into account he got the $178,000 plus his overall salary. He has to pay the state of California for spending 7 days there $249,000.
That's just so stupid.
Yeah, but it ends up costing him $71,000.
This is ridiculous. And this is not just a dig on California. There's 21 states that have this tax.
Miss me on this.
What do you say?
Miss me on this. What you have a problem with is the fact that the NFL doesn't play their players compensatory on the postseason as they do the regular season. That's where your true gripe is. Because, and it makes sense, right? The players would almost play for free during the postseason, right? And it's just an incentivized
I don't know about
thing.
that anymore, but back in the day, maybe.
Yeah, but that's when it's almost free, right? Like that's when everything and everybody's playing. Doesn't matter if you're hurt. During the regular season, there's a little bit of wiggle room, what have you. I understand.
So, are you okay with this?
Yes.
Are you okay with this?
Zero.
guy-
Absolutely not.
This guy made $33.5 million this year. If I told you whatever that percentage is of 70,000 to 33.5 million, if I told you, Ralph, you can pay that amount right now and you'll be able to get the biggest accomplishment of your working professional career that you could have this year. Would you do it? You would 100% of the time.
I don't know.
I'm against it on two levels. I'm against it from a principle perspective, because by what right does the government have to say, hold on, let me finish my sentence. What right does he have to say, even if you work, it doesn't matter? That's an arbitrary thing. What right does the government have to come in and say that arbitrarily, because of what you do, I'm going to take more of your money than I'm already taking? That whole concept is ridiculous to me. There is no moral justification for it. Zero. On top of that, from a consequentialist perspective, especially the state of California, for all the tax revenue that they pull in that they take from citizens, how are they spending that money? It's an absolute travesty.
Yep.
Like on two examples, in California in particular, and the entire principle in general, like the whole fact that government has this arbitrary right to say, you know what, you're working here, I want a cut of that, and I haven't done a damn thing for it. So I am hyper against that kind of stuff. But and in the case of California, it's just so funny because ultimately, if they spent their tax dollars well, you would think, oh well, you know, it's kind of like the people in Minnesota say, well, we get a lot of high taxes, but we get a lot back in services. California, it's not that way. It's absolutely not. It's like a third world country in some places. So that just to me is hilarious.
So obviously I side with Neil.
I'm surprised.
Right. And if you look at some of the states that do this, go figure. California, who has the highest percent, Hawaii, New York, New Jersey, Oregon, Minnesota, DC, Mass, and Pennsylvania. I'm not going to say what they all have in common, but you all know. And this is what they do. You know, if I'm the NFLPA, I go to the NFL and I say, this stops now, or next year, we're not playing in LA in the Super Bowl because we'll just go to Texas or Florida and they won't have that issue. Think about how much money the San Francisco Bay Area made last 2 weeks because of that Super Bowl. It's outrageous amounts of money.
At the same time, as much as I am in favor of that, I will also say that the NFL is problematic in the sense that they have been essentially granted an exemption from a lot of stuff, which I don't think is right either.
No,
right?
that I'll agree with.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think the NFL as a whole, and baseball has the same thing where they've been exempted from some antitrust things. I'm not down with that. So like for me,
even like the stadium stuff where these are publicly funded, they are so far advanced beyond this little mom and pop run organizations that why are we the taxpayer paying for your things that you now fully own?
Yeah.
That we can all agree on.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And that is part of the same scam or cobble that these states have. Right. So like, and I totally agree with you. Public funding, like the whole thing that happened in Kansas City.
Oh, the Kansas is outrageous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's
truly outrageous.
It kills me.
I can't believe they went through with that deal.
Yeah. But like I said, on a principled perspective, that tactic at the same time, I dislike the jock tax or any kind of arbitrary tax based on things just because they can. But ultimately, I also think that the NFL gets a lot of privileges that they shouldn't be getting either. So I never want to come across and saying I'm defending Roger Goodell or the NFL, right? I'm thinking more about the players themselves because they're caught in the middle of this, right? So that's true. I have a more nuanced position, I think, than some people. So sorry, I wanted to make sure I got that in there because
that's a good point.
Because the NFL gets a lot of favors that
certainly
they shouldn't be getting.
Yeah, certainly. And unfortunately, depends how far you want to go down there. But unfortunately, the favoritism always lends itself towards the owners, and it never gets trickled down all the way down to the players. So on that, I think also we can agree on.
I'm not going to cry for the players that are making the money they're making, though.
Well,
I'm not going to cry for the owner. I'm not going to cry for the owners or the players for the money they're making when you have that argument or that conversation. But I still think doing this kind of a tax, as like Neil said, California just did it. They just do it. They just want to do it. So they just want to get money. I'm not going to complain in your city. I'm not going to complain in your state then. Let's do the Super Bowl somewhere where that's just
Where
not
did they
happening.
perform work? They worked. They should be taxed on their work.
They should be taxed on their work. Then I'm going to do my 7 days up in Seattle, and then I'll come down here for 1 day to play the game.
I mean,
and then I'm done.
Then do that.
But then the NFL and that local community will lose because those players aren't down there. There's not all the media that goes on down there. Everything that goes around the Super Bowl and all the money that community makes because of that Super Bowl, the $1 billion that they make because that game is there. What about that?
There are also studies that have been done, and I have reference to them. I don't have the link with me, but there have been some academic research papers that have been done that prove pretty much that a sports franchise, a professional sports franchise, doesn't necessarily generate the same, like, the economic benefit that people claim it does. A lot of this has to do with when they were talking about moving the Arizona Coyotes up to Salt Lake City. There were some people in Utah that there was some research that was cited. I have the link in my home browser somewhere, but basically it said, you know what?
Just in case I ever need some.
Because listen,
it's Pornhub.
Okay. So where it is on my browser is none y'all's business. But yeah, the whole argument that it's economic, that it creates all this economic benefit is, I think, dubious at best too. So like, and it's ironic because we're here on a sports show talking about sports, but ultimately, I mean, I feel like a lot of this infrastructure, it's the whole thing is shady, but ultimately,
Agreed.
And I think part of it too, the reason why I react the way I did is because California is it's so poorly run. It's such a cesspool. It's such a bastion of the elitists.
Yep.
And I'm not even being a political person.
And
here,
that's our home.
You and I grew up there. We lived out there. We saw it firsthand.
We're passionate about it.
And the corruption that's happened in the city of Los Angeles and the city of San Francisco, at the state capitol, just the level of corruption and cronyism and corporatism that takes place in that state, and all the other factors with it. That's why I react to it, because it's like, if it was a state where I felt like, yeah, they're spending the tax dollars okay, that might butt my argument. I don't know who that is now, right? But ultimately, I react because California is so poorly run as a state. I almost said a country. It is the 7th largest economy in the world, but they're so poorly run that it's like, oh, great. Anyway, there you go. I'm done talking about that.
And again, we're passionate because that's our home. That's where we grew up. So
yeah,
and we hate to see what's going on there. It's bad.
I hate to see you both wrong about it. Shall we go?
Jeez.
And shall we go on?
I don't know that we should even take a break today.
I agree.
I have to use the bathroom.
Okay, so
can we take a break?
We'll take a break and then we'll come back with some dessert.
Wow. Okay.
What kind of dessert?
Your mom.
Some pie.
I mean,
pie.
I guess we'll go into our outro and maybe we'll cut it short or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I gotta hit the head, man.
Rip Van Tinkle.
Hour 2, we are done. We're closing the book on the Super Bowl. Hour 2 will be a little bit about the MLB. We got letters to the show.
We do have letters to the show.
And then we've got something special,
unique,
something different that you're probably not expecting, but we got something else to talk about. And at the end of the show, Neil has 5 minutes
to talk about whatever I want. It's going to be taxes. No, it won't be.
Oh boy, it's going to be political. Nothing but politics.
That's
for
right.
4.5 minutes.
The ratings bonanza.
So we'll see you in 4:30 or maybe less. Come back and join us for hour 2. It's the Weekend Warriors on the Super Bowl Network. Go Seahawks.
Hey, Ralph, got another solar question for you.
Okay, but did you check out the Harmon Solar Podcast first?
The what?
The Harmon Solar Podcast. We put new episodes up twice a month that teach you all the things you ever wanted to learn about solar. We discuss things like how solar works, the roofing, sales process, demand management, everything solar.
Show like this needs some real smart thinkers, huh?
Well, yeah.
So you got some really great guests then, huh?
Almost every show.
Is it on Spotify?
Yep.
iTunes?
Yep. Just search it everywhere. It's the Harmon Solar Podcast. Go check it out at harmonsolar.com.
After you cook, are you staring at a pan full of grease? Pan dust turns hot, messy grease into dry, scoopable crumbs in seconds. Sprinkle, stir, let it set, wipe it out, done. Fewer towels, cleaner counters, and yes, happy drains. Want to see it work? Open YouTube and search Pan Dust Absorbs Grease, or go straight to our channel at Pan Dust Absorbs Grease. Watch a quick demo, hit subscribe, and share it with your bacon-obsessed friends. It works on cast iron, non-stick, baking sheets, even grill pans. It's plant-based, no harsh smell, and cleanup is weirdly satisfying. Make cleanup the easiest part of cooking. Pan dust absorbs grease.
Game day, date night, or a midweek bite. Make the Spot Neighborhood Grill your go-to. Sizzling burgers, crispy wings, street-style tacos, fresh salads, and shareables that disappear fast. Add an ice-cold draft or a classic cocktail, and you've got your new neighborhood favorite. Wall-to-wall TVs so you won't miss a play, a patio made for Arizona evenings, and that friendly local vibe you love. Find us at 2 Valley locations, Scottsdale at 18,251 North Pima Road, and Glendale on 5350 West Bell Road. Dine in, grab takeout, or order ahead. Find us at thespotgrill.com for the menu, hours, directions, and daily specials. Again, that's thespotgrill.com. The Spot Neighborhood Grill. Great food, great people.
Turn your backyard into the best seat in the house with Curbalite, the app-controlled landscape curb that wraps your trees in color. Pick any hue, run preset scenes, even schedule your lights right from your phone. And on party night, make the lights dance to the music. Choose the traditional round tree ring or the contemporary square. Both install in minutes and link together for bigger, brighter displays. Connect up to 12 sets to frame your whole space. Built for real weather, Curbalite is tested in extreme heat and cold, so your glow goes year-round. Level up your nights, game day, holidays, or just because. Get Curbalite now at Curbalite.com. That's Curbalite.com.
The Weekend Warriors, taking sports talk radio to a new dimension. Listen to Ralph, Neil, Phil, and guests break down the news.
Isn't that what everybody wants?
The game.
If you like the NFL, this is your shot.
The matchups.
This will be the last year I think we'll ever see one 3,000 strikeout player, much less two facing each other.
The Weekend Warriors.
We are known to chant as well.
You're listening to the Weekend Warrior Show. It's time for hour number 2.
It's the Weekend Warriors. Warriors come to play.
Yeah, here we go.
All right, everybody. It's a little after 11 o'clock on this Saturday morning. I'm Ralph Romano, alongside my partners in crime, the legend Neil Lynch and the legendary Philip Amorine. And this is hour 2 of the Weekend Warriors.
All right, kids, we got to get you involved. Get excited. Get involved in the show. Make comments about Ralph's outfit. Make comments about Phil's chest hair. I mean, it is pretty sexy, I got to tell you. Here's 2 ways you can do that. The first one is you can comment on any of our social media streams. That's X, that's YouTube, that's the Book of Faces. Or you can hit us up on the soon-to-be discontinued Weekend Warriors text line, 866-412-6366.
What is that line for the last time?
For the last time, 866-412-6366. Operators are standing by. This offer will expire at the end of the show, so please text now.
Yes, we are getting rid of the text line because we're going to just keep using all the social media chats, which just makes more sense.
It makes more sense.
So this is the last week of a few things, and the text line is
right.
one of them.
The text line is one of them.
So if you hadn't had your chance to get on that text line and use it, you might want to try it.
That's right.
Because it'll be gone.
Try it.
Like your ex.
Well,
wow.
She makes the rounds.
Aggressive.
She makes the rounds. All right, guys, where do we want to go from here? Do we want to talk MLB? Do we want to get into, we got letters, we got MLB. What do you want to do?
Well, I
think you want to do the pie?
The what?
The pie?
Oh, we got the pie.
We got the pie.
We should do the pie.
We should do the pie.
What pie?
You'll see.
What a pie? Is like 3.14? I don't know. I can't do the rest of them. I forgot to look it up.
Pie.
I used to have a girlfriend, speaking of exes, who knew, I want to say the number up to 12 digits, like 3.17.
Oh, wow.
759.
Wow. So she was a nerd.
So Phil, here's the intro to the pie.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
Phil's okay. So this is on the video for those of you who aren't watching, but
Yeah.
Phil's unimpeachable pie.
Phil's unimpeachable.
I love it. All right, gentlemen. I wanted to introduce something that I think we could use a little more around here. Pie. So given that the Seahawks just won and now are in need to assign blame and responsibility whenever people win championships, I would like to unveil to the show for the first time Phil's unimpeachable pie. I'm going to share with you guys who I think deserves what percentage of the credit, and you two can agree with me and confirm it is indeed unimpeachable, or you can take a slice out of my pie and reassign. All right, here we go. Coming in at the biggest slice of the pie with 30% of it is the defense. Through 3 quarters, this defense allowed 0 points, only allowing 60 passing yards. And for the game, gave the offense a 19-0 cushion before allowing the Pats their first touchdown. Sacked Maye 6 times, forced 1 fumble, and even scored with a pick 6 for good measure. Anyone who watched that game and didn't have a team that they were a fan of in it and said that this is a boring Super Bowl automatically agrees with me and this percentage, 30%. All right.
Okay.
Next highest percentage goes to the architect of said defensive scheme, the defensive play caller, Mike McDonald. He has 18%. That Ravens defense has not been the same since he left them, with most of the same pieces left behind, and the defense wreaked havoc on every quarterback they faced, not named Matthew Stafford or Baker Mayfield, and practically retired a rookie quarterback in Minnesota named Max Brosner early in the year when they faced the Vikings. Under his stewardship, the Seahawks have always improved, and when you come away from a Super Bowl and the only negative you can pin on him is that his defense relaxed after 3 quarters of the game with a 19-point lead, I think you can safely say he is comfortably placed at 18%. How about a future Hall of Famer, the architect of now 2 Super Bowl teams with 0 holdover from one rendition to the other?
Impressive.
General Manager John Schneider gets 15%, as the pie has suggested thus far, and as you'll continue to see, it was a very well-rounded and deserving team win. Hard to place him higher, but if you take the percentage of credit accumulated from the last Super Bowl the Seahawks won and combine it with this one, that's where I think the league would have to agree that only Howie Roseman of the Eagles can match Snyder in pedigree and results on the field. I got Schneider at 15%. Super Bowl MVP shares, 15%. That would be impending free agent Kenneth Walker III. When faced with the reality that the offensive side of the ball,
the first 2.
I know, offensive side of the ball is much easier to pick apart and assign an MVP than a defensive unit, you have to agree that Kenneth Walker was a pivotal piece that certainly led to a 12-0 lead and would have been the runaway lock for MVP had a touchdown run that got called back due to holding not brought it off the board. The Thunder to Charbonnet's Lightning obviously shares 15% for K9 here. Only slightly lower with 10%. Ralph, I got you here. Special teams. With the highest paid special teams room in the league, the punter and kicker for the Seahawks had cases, legit cases, to be MVPs through the end of the first half with punts that forced the Patriots into starting field positions behind the 20 and routine made kicks from as far as 69 yards out. This unit, just doing their job and not botching the process, deserves 10%. The MVP of the NFC Championship, Sam Darnold, gets 5%. Look, legitimately, I give him all the credit in the world for having the game of his professional career 2 weeks earlier in what has unanimously been crowned as the unofficial Super Bowl. But in this game, all he did was not make a mistake, and the team around him delivered. He almost had an interception to start out the game and took a couple sacks without fumbling. But for this game, I can't go higher than 5%. For catching a touchdown, we got A.J. Barner with 4%. And JSN didn't have a statistical impact on this game, and he got hurt. But when he was out there, he allowed the rest of the offense to open up as the Pats were clearly game planning to shut him down, allowing others to be open. Looking at you, Cooper Kupp, as honorable mention, maybe a percent here or there to be thrown. But, Neil, I'll go to you first. Do you find this to be an unimpeachable pie, or would you reassign something?
So far, your pie is unimpeachable.
I love it. I love it. No, that's it.
I think those are all accurate. I have no notes.
All right.
Wow.
An unimpeachable pie to start it out. I love it. How about you, Ralph?
Yeah. I think Sam Darnold deserves more than 5%.
That's
of
where I
course you
thought.
do.
That's where I thought. I
agree with everything on here. JSN, I mean, really, he had very little impact on this game. He probably gets a percent.
He deserves something because he was at least a decoy.
Yeah, he gets a percent.
Yeah,
and Barner probably gets 2%. Special teams probably gets 8%, and then I bulk Darnold up to about 10% because he made plays when he had to. He made throws to make first downs when he needed to. He had that one run to get a first down. He made the plays that he needed to make to move the ball down the field to get into position for Jason Myers to put the points up. So I think that deserves more than 5%. Other than that, it's not a bad blueberry impeachable pie.
Absolutely. Yeah, we look at the top. Yeah, we're trying to get a little bit of a Seahawks flavor for this pie.
Yeah, it's kind of
I
blueberry.
like it. It was good. It was a beautiful blue and sea green or whatever
That's pretty good though.
color is.
I have to admit, I think it's a good breakdown.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, defense.
No doubt.
Honestly, I wish that there was some collaboration with the MVP voters, and I would have elected some defensive player as the herald, as the figurehead for the defense.
I would have gave it to Witherspoon, but yeah.
Yeah. We had just been like, hey, we understand Devin Witherspoon didn't have like 3 interceptions, but we're still going to give it to him, knowing
2 big sacks, a forced fumble.
that it's a figurehead for the defense. Because watching that game, it was obvious it was the defense. So
agreed.
Putting a pin in the pie means that we are now moving on from the Super Bowl. Thank you, gentlemen.
Phil's unimpeachable. Phil's unimpeachable.
It's so good.
I actually met the drummer for Warrant on a flight years ago.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Did he lick your guitar string?
It was Steven Sweet. No, it's funny because he was sitting in the back of the plane with me, and another band member was making fun of him at one point. And I didn't know who they were. And then when he pulled out his luggage when we got off the plane, he had the Warrant sticker on his. I was like, oh my God.
I remember you telling that story.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's the only story I got. Well, I've met a couple of famous people on flights, including Prince, but that's a different story.
Do we want to go MLB? I know you visited Camelback yesterday.
Yeah.
Do you want to give us a little breakout?
The season started, obviously, for the Dodgers. Pitchers and catchers officially reported, although they've been there, most of them been there the whole week already, as you all know from social media. But Friday was the first quote-unquote official day, and the fans were there. Something to keep in mind about Camelback Ranch. I don't know if this is the case for all of the spring training facilities, at least here in the desert, here in Arizona, but Camelback Ranch has instituted a new security policy. So basically, the security policy when you go into the stadium is now the security policy for going into the practice facility, right? So you can't bring, you have to have
drinks.
No drinks, no outside food, no coolers, plastic bag. They have the metal detector. They check your bag and stuff when you go in. So just come prepared. There were a lot of people who were unprepared for that. But anyway, the fact of the matter is it was a lot of fun. Only you. So by request, they frisk you.
Right.
So it was fun. I actually expected there to be a lot more people, but it was a Friday morning, and I'm sure a lot of people there were a lot of personalities there. There were people dressed up. There's a guy named Dodger Juice who dresses like Beetlejuice, but with the Dodgers.
Oh my God.
He lives in Tullifson, so he lives here in town.
No, that tracks.
But he was there. I met a couple of other TikTok people who were actually there as well. But I actually expected there to be more people. It was still a good crowd, or still a lot of people. Yeah. And it was fun to see. It was fun to see Miggy Rowe again and Max Muncy. And I got to see Kyle Tucker signing autographs for some people. Got to see Alex Vesia. Got to see Ronan Kopp. And I yelled his name out, but he didn't hear me. I'm glad his dad heard me.
Maybe he thought you were saying Copperfield or something.
No, I said Ronan. I used his first name.
It was cool to see
intentionally.
Ronan with he's in Blake Snell's group, and they were kind of chatting.
That was great. But I saw Ohtani from a distance because we had to leave by the time he walked out. Yeah, it was crazy. And it was so funny just to watch the mass of Japanese media. Like you hear the hubbub when he's out. And then because he walks through, from the entrance, he walks through to the field, and then he goes out to the other side of the complex where where pitchers and catchers are. And you could just see all of the Japanese media and their giant cameras just running as fast as they can all around. Like it was it was like World War Z. It was just crazy how many people were
cameras.
Oh, it was true. They had the big old cameras and they're running around. Like it was nuts to see the Japanese media and everybody else obviously chasing him down. So, so I missed a lot of it, but I did get to see some people and it was fun. I'm not an autograph hound. I don't do that kind of stuff, right? That's just dumb, but it was fun to be up close and see the coaches out there again and just get back in the mood for baseball. So it was fun. And so, I'm pretty excited for the season. And it was good to see Kyle Tucker. And it was funny because Kyle Tucker was very unassuming because he when he walked out the first time to go to the practice field, he walked out with Miggy Rowe and with Max Muncy. And everybody was focused on those two guys. And then like he was walking behind him. It was like, oh yeah, that was Kyle Tucker. What the heck? So, but on the way back in, he did stop and sign a few autographs for some kids.
He's wearing Gibson's number, right? 23.
Yeah, I have some issues with that, but I'll get over it.
I'm surprised they haven't retired that number, at least for the Dodgers.
I thought they would by now.
I don't know if they will because he was on there one season.
But what he did.
Or two seasons, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
And Kike's back.
And Kike's back. I did not see him, but he is
No,
back.
he's still hurt. He's still
Much to your wife's happiness.
Oh, she's in love
She's a
with
big Kike fan.
Kike Hernandez, absolutely. Well, Ralph loves him too.
I do too. I love Kike.
Yeah. So anyway,
he's important.
No,
it was good. It was a good time. I'm looking forward. I would like to go to some other spring training facilities just for practice and see them. Like, even seeing Manny Machado at the Padres would be interesting.
Oh, speaking of the Padres, Nick Castellanos.
Oh yeah, right.
Agrees to a 1-year deal with the Padres.
Perfect fit for that disgusting program.
Absolutely.
I guess they let him drink beer in the dugout.
Yeah,
then.
he's a perfect fit.
Yeah,
perfect.
Listen, you know what though? Here's the thing: the hypocrisy of that whole thing drives me nuts.
Okay.
And I maybe I'm just showing my age. I know I'm totally showing my age, but that kind of behavior was so commonplace. Remember like in the 90s when the Minnesota Twins, like what's his name? I forgot the head coach. Tom Kelly was out there with a cigar in his mouth, throwing batting. He's wearing Zubas. He's wearing Zubas, smoking a stogie, throwing batting practice, or like Jim Leland smoking a dart in the dugout, right? Like that kind of stuff was so commonplace. I get it now. Athletes are much more finely tuned machines, blah, blah, blah. They take care of their bodies, et cetera, et cetera.
Babe Ruth was drunk after that.
Oh, I know. But seriously, it's like we've come so far now in this whole thing where Castellanos brings a beer into the dugout, does not drink it at the behest of his teammates, and still gets cut. Now, obviously, there was a lot more to it. Castellanos had a falling out with the organization. I get that. But you know what? I wish him well. I don't know if the Padres are a good place for him, but man, I hope he stirs some stuff up, and I hope it's fun. I just hope it's fun.
Oh, it'll certainly be fun.
He's a Padre. I don't care about him.
He's dead to him.
He's dead.
See, I'm not into the rivalry that much. They're a rival, but I don't dislike.
No, the Giants are your rival.
We'll definitely get into a lot more baseball here.
Yeah,
next
I don't
year,
even.
so.
I don't even. Rivals are rivals, but it's like I still have healthy respect for them. I don't dislike.
Not for the Padres.
I don't dislike people who are fans of those teams. I just don't. There was actually it was funny. It was funny. A funny story. There was a Canadian family who was there, and they were taking the LA logo way on the backside of the property. Mm-hmm. They were taking a picture with it, and they were doing the thumbs down thing, and they had their blue jays. It was fun though because the family was in town for a volleyball tournament, right? So they were coming, and I assume they were coming from Alberta or somewhere because, man, they sounded like they were right off the set of Letterkenny, which I know is in Ontario. Don't come at me, but they were fun. I shared my story about the World Series with them, and they were fun. They was good people. It was good to talk to them. But yeah, there was a Padres fan there wearing his Padres hat, walking around. No one said a word. I just think that I'm kind of beyond that now. I was thinking about it. Like the Dodgers are so good right now. I mean, eventually this is going to end. I get it. But all the hate that the Dodgers are receiving, it's just starting to become noise.
Yeah.
Like, nobody cares anymore. Nobody cares.
It's true.
See, white noise. He's racist. Nobody cares. Like it's
black
just,
noise. It's
like
brown noise.
It's like until
yellow noise.
Until the CBA gets renegotiated and whatever happens. All right. Until that happens, the Dodgers are on top, and any team that wants to get there, all you got to do is just be like the Dodgers. And you know what? But hey,
simple enough.
But here's the thing. I think the Giants are trying to. With Buster Posey, I think the Giants are trying to be there. I think the Mets had a little bit of a hiccup with Juan Soto, but they're trying now with some of their acquisitions.
We have a media member of the Brewers that reached out to us.
Yes.
And he's going to come on the show. There's some of their TV and he does radio for them. So legit guy in the Brewers organization. And he saw some of our clips about the salary cap and the Brewers and how they're ruining baseball. You know, we talked about that.
So he responded to you.
Yeah. So we started talking off and he's like, yeah, I'd love to come on and I can give you the small market, side of it. I'm like, that'd be awesome. So we're hoping in the next 2 weeks, I think next week, he was going to come on next week, but they have their first game on Saturday. So we're going to try to figure it out and we'll work it out with him. But that was kind of cool. He'll come on the show and we'll talk about small market, big market and see where we go with it. So I'm looking forward to that.
I'm ready to have that be brewing in the background.
Yeah.
Brewing. Wah, wah, wah.
We should go to letters.
We should go to letters.
We have a lot of letters.
We have 5 letters.
5 letters.
Ooh.
You know what time it is.
What time is it?
Nope.
We get letters. We get stacks and stacks of letters.
I like that clip better.
Oh, that's fantastic.
All right, so we've got 5 letters that now you know that the Weekend Warriors, we had a mailroom at the radio station when we were on the air. We've had those letters forwarded to Ralph's house, and they've all been sitting in a giant pile in his garage.
My wife's pissed.
Yeah, she is. So now we're going to read through some of these letters. I picked 5 letters that seem to be pretty appropriate for today.
Ralph, what's this sack?
Oh, wow. Phil's talking about
Letters.
Ralph's sack. This is great.
They're my letters.
Here we go. Now, by the way, a couple of these are addressed individually to both of you. So this will be interesting. So here's the first letter I'm going to pull out. This is to Phil. Dear Phil.
Oh, good.
I've been hearing a tone lately that hang on. So that's the wrong letter. I'm sorry. This is it. Phil. Dear Phil, I noticed how quickly a resume gets folded up and put away the moment the birth date becomes the headline. Funny thing is, banners don't fall down just because someone walked into a different building later on and the ending didn't sparkle in the same way. The work was done, the culture stuck, and a whole city learned how to believe out loud. You don't erase that with a shrug and a smirk about what came after. And honestly, when you've been fortunate enough to do this long enough, well enough, the noise starts to sound like background music. The lessons are paid for, the rings still fit, and the view from the porch is pretty comfortable. So if a loud voice from the desert, I think he's talking about you, wants to call me outdated, I'll just keep clapping, keep smiling, and keep cashing checks while reminding you that wisdom doesn't retire just because someone younger thinks it should. Sincerely, PC.
PC. Oh, Pete Carroll.
Yes, that was from Pete
How
Carroll.
dare you talk about Pete Carroll?
Yeah, there was a lot of people that letter could have pertained from. I was like, all right, Al Michaels, Terry Bradshaw.
Yeah, your ageism. It reaches out.
All the ageism.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, that was letter 1. Here's letter 2. I was hoping for a little more reaction from you, but that's about
No,
what I expect, so
it
that's
was
fine.
more so thinking about who, and then plus there was gum all over the envelope. I just
That's
didn't-
true.
There was gum.
That's true.
It wasn't a wax seal. It was a
had
gum
wax
seal.
seal.
Yeah,
Right, exactly.
It was all blue.
Yeah. There you go. This one's for you, Ralph.
Okay.
This was actually written in Spanish originally. I had to translate
Ooh,
it for the show. Dear Ralph, I heard you skipped the halftime show, which is wild considering how much energy you spend having opinions about everything else on that day. I get it, though. Big stages make some people nervous, especially when the music comes with a message and a beat you can't tap your foot to, ironically. Between us, I know you caught a replay later, probably alone, the volume a little higher than you'd admit, nodding while you were studying film instead of enjoying it. The point wasn't fireworks or costume changes. It was about who gets seen, who gets heard, and who gets to take up space in the middle of America's biggest moment. That idea should land for anyone paying attention. And being married into a culture that lives that reality every day should make it even clearer. Next time, just watch it live like a grown man. I promise the rhythm won't hurt you. Sincerely, BB.
So, Mr. Bunny, not only did I not watch it live, I didn't watch a replay of it. I have no interest in it because it's just something I don't like. So it had nothing to do with anything of the noise out there. It just was something that doesn't relate to me, so I didn't watch it. No big deal.
You gotta appreciate a guy who's single-handedly stimulating the economy by paying people $19
sure
to beat trees.
I mean,
I would have done that.
And I think
for that,
I think if you're out there and you liked it and you wanted to watch it, all power to you. That's awesome. I didn't watch
$19
it.
$19 an hour to just go out there and be a mobile tree.
I heard Kike Hernandez was a tree.
I believe it.
Don't know if that's true or not, but I did hear that.
Was he the tree with the little Mexican flag?
He had some Oakleys on.
Yeah.
No, he had
He's
a
Puerto
tree.
Rican.
He had a tree with a sling on one branch. So here, okay. So funny side story about that. I heard about this story. There was a restaurant / bar here in the Phoenix area that tried to thread the needle on that halftime show.
What do you mean?
So they apparently, I don't know exactly why this came up, but for some reason they felt like they were compelled to play both halftime shows.
Oh.
So so they're playing the Super Bowl, right? And then at halftime they switched, every other TV was on either show, and they didn't play the music for either one. They played neutral music during it,
like smooth jazz.
Yeah. So apparently, most of the people there were very much in favor of watching the Bad Bunny show. They actually, some people walked out on their tabs or tipped zero. Like it was almost a bit of a mutiny. Like they tried to thread the needle unsuccessfully, and they couldn't do it. I won't say the place.
Pick a side.
I won't say the place. I won't say the location. I just feel that to me is that to me that's sad that even had to happen. That was even a consideration. It's sad on a lot of levels.
I agree.
But ultimately, Bad Bunny noticed your absence and he missed you and wants you to enjoy it. So there you
I don't
go.
even know who he is, nor do I care. I mean, I don't know who most common musicians are. So,
did you ever see?
I live in the
Happy
80s.
Gilmore too?
No, never seen it.
That's true. You do.
Yeah.
You and I do live in the 80s. That's true.
I live in the 80s and the 90s. I don't know who these guys are. I don't care. It's not even a political motivation. I just don't care.
See,
So-
I think that's fair. That's fair. In fact, Ralph, this next letter is also for you. Funny enough.
Okay.
And I picked some that weren't. There were a couple of kind of negative ones. These are a little more positive.
Oh,
all right.
geez,
So
these are
this
the
next
positive
letter.
ones.
This next letter is for you, Ralph. Dear Ralph, I wanted to say thanks for riding with me from the beginning, back when Saturdays felt big and the future felt simple. Support that sticks with a guy, support like that sticks with a guy, especially when the road gets longer and longer. I did notice, however, that your confidence wavered a bit once the scenery changed, when the uniforms rotated and the headlines got heavier. New York, Carolina, Minnesota. I heard the questions. I felt the pauses. And yeah, I remember your doubt. That's all right. Quarterbacks develop thick skin and they don't last very long. And forgiveness comes easier once the work finally speaks for itself on the biggest stage. I'm good. We're good. And I'm already looking ahead. Next time Seattle comes down to play the Cardinals, dinner's on me. Just try not to hedge your opinions until dessert. Sincerely, SD.
SD.
Oh, yeah. I know who it is.
I can't believe he doesn't know who this is.
I'm shocked.
Oh, it's not Sam Darnold.
Yes, it is.
Oh, I didn't think it was Sam Darnold.
Oh, because of your glowing praise for him prior to
Because
joining
he
the
doesn't
Seattle
remember
Seahawks?
all the criticism
I
that
thought
they
you were
gave to
talking
him.
about Kyler Murray for a second. I was like, oh, because he always talks to me.
Yeah.
Next time Seattle comes down to play the Cardinals, dinner's on me. That
Sam-
wasn't your biggest clue?
I missed that. Sam, I love you.
boy.
That's all I'm going to say. I love you. And
Oh, yeah. No, he's a made man as far as Ralph's concerned.
yeah, he's on my list now. I'm going to get a Darnold jersey.
Yeah.
I love the guy.
His kiss
Really?
is on his
Oh,
list
yeah.
of the best things in his life.
Wow. That is.
You take my team to a Super Bowl and win, you get a jersey.
I'm surprised. I would have thought a JSN jersey, but Sam Darnold.
I'll have one too. But I mean, Sam Darnold deserves a jersey in my Jersey Hall of Fame, so he's going to get one.
Wow. That is big.
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely.
All right. So I got two more. This one's for you, Phil.
Oh.
And it's a good one.
Okay.
I appreciate you. Dear Phil. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Dear Phil.
Insinuated.
I appreciate you sticking with me when the noise got louder than the tape and the expectations swung from unrealistic to non-existent. Those years in Boulder were bright, chaotic, and unforgettable, even when the reviews didn't match the effort. Then came the waiting, the sliding, the quiet realization that opportunity sometimes shows up only after every other door has already been tried. Still, you kept saying my name like it mattered, and that kind of belief counts when the depth chart looks like a dare. I know how I got here. And I'm not confused about the math. Famous last name, famous shadow, a future that might not come with parades or rings. That's fine. I figured out early that the game is bigger than Sundays, and success has more than one scoreboard. Whether people count wins or commas, I'm doing just fine, and I'll take my version of the dream every time. However this plays out, I am already exactly what I set out to be. Legendary. Sincerely, SS.
Oh, no.
Look.
Oh, no.
Look.
Talking to the SS?
If you could change, I could change. We all could change. Sylvester Stallone. I'm kidding. We all know it's Shador Sanders. I was going to even possibly go with Susan Sarandon, but no.
Wow, that's a good one, actually. Yeah.
No. Shador Sanders. Look, I'm riding with you till you die. Or I die, whichever one comes first, because it is a mutual love fest.
All right, I've got one last letter.
The last letter.
And this letter
from Super Bowl 61 halftime performer Taylor Swift.
It's
that'll be another show I don't watch.
Dear heavens! Oh my goodness. No, this one's written to me.
Oh,
all right. So it's Dear Neil. Congrats on the 2-year run with the Weekend Warriors. That kind of consistency matters, and anyone who shows up prepared every week, I wouldn't say prepared, understands what it takes to build something people actually want to listen to.
Yeah.
I've always appreciated the way you talk about sports with respect for the work, the grind, and the moments that make it fun. Hearing you and knowing you were watching closely, even back when the gyms were louder than the headlines in Iowa, meant more than you probably realized. I'm excited to see what you and your wife do next with the new podcast. Oh, he just spoiled it for me.
Yeah, you did.
Betting on chemistry, preparation, and doing it your own way usually pays off. Thanks for supporting my game from the early days through everything that followed. Keep shooting your shot, trust your range, and enjoy the run. Sincerely, CC.
Calvin Klein.
Caitlin Clark, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's why she's shooting her shot.
Thank you. Yeah, Caitlin Clark. As
that's
you
going
remember,
back. Yes, we do.
you remember, early in the show's history,
yes,
there was a time where I was an advocate, a fan of Caitlin Clark.
That's right.
And you tried to twist it and accuse it of being inappropriate things.
I was just reporting the facts.
That is not a fact at all. You were just it was rough for a while. And then what was funny was a couple of weeks later, when the WNBA started, when she was in the league for the first time, you started talking about it a little more.
I did.
And then you stopped talking about it.
I became a fan
because the league is the WNBA, as we all know, is hilariously poorly run and managed, right, and it's just not going to go well. It was funny seeing an ad because Peacock got the rights to play or to show WNBA games. They had a commercial advertising, and I'm like, I don't think they're going to be playing this year. I don't know. Anyway,
does anyone care?
Well, I think they would care if certain things were different. I do think that I think that women's basketball has the potential for a really good stage and a good audience.
I think it does.
And I just think that there's a lot of other things that are disrupting it. Not the least of which, by the way, is being tied to the NBA.
That's a huge issue.
I don't think they should be.
Yep.
I think they should be separate. Now, what does that mean? I think we can all imply and insinuate, but you know what? You're never going to know if it's really viable until you break away from the welfare.
That's right.
You know? And I honestly think, given the success of Unrivaled and some other leagues that are happening, I do honestly think that they have a path to success where they become viable. I just think that the whole NBA association is just creating a lot of the issues that it's horrible.
I'd say with the exception of Indiana, if they broke away from the NBA, they'd be playing in high school gyms. Anyway, so that is the last edition of
We Get Letters. We get stacks and stacks of letters.
So now we're going to go a different direction. Neil just mentioned a podcast with him and his wife, Amy, she's going to join us right now. So if you haven't figured it out yet, this is Neil's last show with the Weekend Warriors.
Woo! Yeah. Oh, wait. I'm not supposed to do that.
I was going to say, it feels...
I'm supposed to be sad.
I was like, I want to join the clapping, but it feels inappropriate.
Neil has a passion for something else, and his wife told him he's going to do it. And no, I'm kidding. So they're going to start a podcast. And what is it called?
Well, hang on a second. We got to get the camera wider.
Here, I can fix it. You have to turn the app on.
Oh, the app. Oh, I got to turn the Ozbot app on. Hold on.
All right. So, but what is from either one of you? What is the podcast going to be called?
I have been inspired as Ralph is over my. Oh, I love when Ralph's this close to me, baby. Oh, my wife's sitting next to me.
Yeah, make sure you click on the buttons, not Neil's button.
Yeah, that's right. So my wife and I have decided to start a podcast. It's going to be a podcast that's a Dodgers fandom podcast, and it will delve into some other areas as well. But the title of it is Till Dodgers Do Us Part. So it is a podcast that is going to be obviously a weekly podcast that talks about Dodger fandom. There you are. You can scoot over towards me. Oh, you will. You will. Yeah.
Fantastic.
All right. So
we're Dodgers Do Us Part.
We're getting Dodgers Do Us Part. You can scoot over towards me more. There you go. I know. Do I have to?
You get the lovely seat.
Yeah. How's that? How you feeling there?
Okay.
All right. So it is a weekly podcast where we talk about the Dodgers. We will talk about the dynamics of sports couple fandom and whatever other topics we want to talk about, touching on sports and relationships. So that's going to be the show. We were inspired by some fan podcasts that started a couple of years ago. In particular, this one called Talk Dodgers to Me. We've actually met Melissa and Jackie in person. And
Awesome.
we've talked a lot about doing some kind of thing. And here's the reason why it became viable is because this woman right here, she wasn't a Dodger fan until she met me. But then when she understood that, she went all in to the point where she knows more about the current Dodgers and what's happening on a day-to-day basis than even I do.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's dedicated.
She's very much so.
Yeah, it's a little embarrassing, but overall great though. It's so fun. It's so fun.
I wouldn't say it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for me because I'm like, I should know that. Like so we both work from home, and she'll be in the other room and I'll be working, and I hear this, hey, did you hear so-and-so got traded? I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't even know. But yeah, she stays up on that stuff. So yeah, it's good. We're looking forward to it. We're in the process of building out the podcast studio. We're going to probably do some test episodes this weekend, but our goal is to launch sometime in March, probably March 13th. So basically a month from now, we're going to be on the air. We're not on the air. We're not going to do it live. It's going to be a podcast, but we're going to be available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
So tell us about, the idea is you're gonna be looking at the Dodgers as part of it, right? You're gonna be kind of recapping what's going on that week with the Dodgers, and then are you gonna have an angle of how married couples that both have this fanaticism toward a team or sports and how it plays in their lives? Correct?
Yeah, that's exactly what we just like talking about it. So we kind of figure we'll look at the week that happened, and we're going to try to record on the off day, which is most of the time Thursday, looking at the schedule, and then put it out for Fridays to kind of look toward the weekend. But then also just things that come up as married couples or relationships or families in fandom, whether you are rooting for the same team or maybe you have a house divided. But just talking about things in general with relationships and sports, and really focusing mostly on the Dodgers because that's our team and we love baseball. So
Exactly.
fun.
And I think that's an important point too, is we are going to be focused on the Dodgers. The Dodgers are the primary team. That's what we're going to do the most talking about. But we're not afraid to talk about the other teams. We're going to talk about other trades, like especially when it comes to the teams the Dodgers are playing. We pay attention to baseball. So we're going to be able to speak intelligently about the matchups coming up.
Mostly intelligent.
The fact that Paul Sewald is back with the Diamondbacks, which to me is one of the greatest things I could add. Like that's like having Hurley come back to coach Arizona State basketball. It's like, I can't wait. Because that was one of my favorite digs when I was at a Diamondbacks Dodgers game. I would yell, hey, bring in Sewald.
And when they would, we would just stand up and cheer.
Oh, it was great. We loved it. So he's back. So I can't wait.
So our Bitter Dolphin fans on Facebook says, how do we find the podcast?
Well, you'll find we're going to be getting that out in the open pretty soon. We have the social media accounts for Instagram and for Facebook. You can find it now. It's Till Dodgers Do Us Part. You can find that. We will have the website up and running, tilldodgersdouspart.com. That website hasn't been launched yet. It will be shortly. I've been building other things up, but eventually you're going to see all of it, and it'll be put out. We're going to try to get a TikTok account, but TikTok is actually very, very, oh my goodness. It's so bad.
Yeah.
I tried establishing an account and it permanently banned me because I was using an email address and not a phone number. So TikTok and pound sand. Those guys are crazy. Anyway,
I see on Instagram, you got Till Dodgers Do Us Part.
Yep. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook.
There you go.
Yeah. We've actually changed that. So that was a spec intro that I put out there.
All right, so forget that.
That's not my voice.
Amy was mad. That is not her voice. That was an AI generated voice that I tried to bring up. And the one voice kind of sounds like me. The other one does not sound like Amy, but we've redone that. We've actually changed the vowels a little bit too. We say, for richer, for poorer, from spring training to postseason, till Dodgers do us part.
Nice.
So yeah,
I expect and hope, I suppose, that one of the early episodes will be, I suppose, not out of need, but what happens to the relationship when the Dodgers go on a losing streak?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? So so the way I think about it is, imagine that you're with us at home and we get on one of our rants about something. She'll do it, I'll do it, and just something ticks us off, or some player didn't perform the way they should have, or I can gripe about the fact that I thought Kershaw should have retired 3 years ago, whatever the case is, and she'll disagree with me. Like, that's the kind of stuff. So like, we want it to be like you're sitting with us at our home and we're talking baseball and just chopping it up like that, right? Like that's the whole game. We do have a structure and a format, but you're not gonna be able to tell right away what we're doing. But ultimately,
sure
we
will
have
be either, but
we have some guiding principles. And this is Amy's first time doing a podcast, so there's going to be learning on her part. But as everybody here is fully
I'm gonna
aware
learn from this pro over here.
Oh yeah,
Amy will be fine.
As all of you are very aware, she is probably a natural at this, and it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Like there's no that's the least of my concerns, and that's usually where the problem comes in. You get somebody who's smart or knowledgeable, and they can't talk, right? So
You guys have never had that happen here, have you?
she's the full package.
No, we talk too much.
Yeah.
No, we've
Stop
never had
talking.
that happen here.
No, I don't remember.
Anyway.
Posts like that.
All right.
Tracy.
Yes.
Yeah, because Neil is kind of the guy who, if things go wrong, he's just, get rid of that guy. Now, man, he sucks. And I was just like, okay, well, that was one game or one inning.
Yep.
Let's calm down a little bit. And no, he's done. Okay, so
Well,
those will be some of the things that we will be.
That's true. You are
discussing.
emotional when it comes to the Dodgers, and you do have a tendency to get on the negative bandwagon. Like last year, you did that all year with the way they were playing.
Well, I wasn't wrong.
You kind of were. I kept telling you not to worry.
They managed to. Did you watch that World Series?
I kept telling you, don't worry.
They got lucky. But anyway,
I'll take luck
whatever.
with the World
Yeah,
Series.
I will too. But I'm just saying, like my takes on Tanner Scott and my takes on Michael Conforto, I think everybody felt the same way. And it was reassuring that I would see other people on social media say the same things I was saying about him. But yeah,
that's the best place to get reassurances. Social media.
That's true. I
can already see this shit.
I know.
That's going to be awesome.
I know. I do tend to get emotional in the moment about stuff. I do have a long-term view, but yeah, in the moment, I'm just like, I just see a pattern developing and it just bugs me. And I can't. Anyway.
So you're streaming on a weekly basis? Is that what you're not streaming?
We're not going to stream live. We're recording it. So we're going to record on Thursdays. We'll publish on Fridays.
Every Friday.
Yes. Every Friday. Like it'll probably end up technically being like late Thursday night, midnight. But on Fridays is when the new episodes will drop.
Get some biscotti and grab a coffee and listen to Dodgers.
Talking about about an hour?
We're shooting for 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
Oh, okay. I thought it was 4 to 5 hours. I was like, my God, they're going to go through every game.
Yeah, the episodes might be a little longer.
Him, but that's a lot of time to be awake with a person.
A little longer, a little shorter, depending on the mood. Right. But yeah, so that's what we're doing.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
I think that'll be a good watch. I'll be watching it.
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%. I'm going to.
So if we send comments, will you read them?
We haven't decided exactly how to handle that. We will have to have some kind of like comment section because a lot of the podcasts
maybe like an email or something that people can.
A weekly email, like a mailbag.
Yeah.
Well, we are going to do
like
a subscriber
letters?
email.
Yeah, like
letters.
letters.
We'll do letters. We're not going to do that.
You should do a weekly mailbag. So
Emails. They've got emails.
They got lots and lots of emails. I think that's awesome, man.
100%. Congratulations.
Thank you very
guys.
much. We'll see where this goes. This is an experiment. It's a lot of fun. We have a long-term plan for how we're going to, do the show over time. There might be merchandise involved. There might be public.
Wait, with your face on it? I'm all in.
I actually want to sell things, so
if I can wear your
do
face on my chest, I am in.
Okay,
I think
so
the AI caricatures may be of benefit to us in that situation.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. So
I can have Neil's mouth right here.
Oh, see, I was thinking Neil.
Oh boy.
I'm listening. I'm all ears. She don't care.
You're gonna do any kind of like recording from games and stuff, and maybe bring it in and
we'll definitely do like our plan is we have the anchor show, right, and then we may do special things like if we go to a game, we have ideas of maybe traveling to out of like to go to when they're playing like the Mariners or playing like the Boston Red Sox.
What is that, like a plog? A podcast log instead of
it's a blog. Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
So we'll have to see how we do it. The part of it too, which I'm very passionate about with this, is that I want this to be authentic. Our goal is to help build the Dodger fan community. Ultimately, like that's our secret motive, which it's not so secret now because I just said it on the air. But we want to build this community, right? We feel like that, especially now with the Dodgers being so popular, that there's a lot of haters out there.
Yeah.
And there's also a lot of fans who are relatively new to baseball as well as to the Dodgers. And I feel like that this demographic, I don't want to sound, esoteric or whatever, but I feel like our demographic hasn't been really touched, right? The married couple fans, So and we don't care. Like we're going to celebrate fandom wherever it is, but our ultimate goal is we want to build community. We want to bring people together. We want to, we want to enjoy the experience with other people. And again, it can be fans of the game, not necessarily fans of the Dodgers. Like I said, we're not going to be hating on anybody, despite what Ralph wants to do.
Well, even if it is just the Dodgers, you guys picked a great team with which to explore. Because the Dodgers, I find it hard, even if they don't win every year, every championship, they will certainly be in the mix. They are a team that has stapled themselves and positioned themselves to be perpetually in the mix, and that's always fascinating to explore.
Yeah, and they haven't always, and as we've talked about many times on the air, it hasn't always been like that. So for us, we're enjoying the spoils right now, knowing, at least for me, knowing that it is going to end at some point. So let's enjoy the ride while we can. But and let's enjoy it with other people along the way.
I think the married couple angle is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Not even married, just a couple angle, I think is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just kind of like you were talking about some stuff you're doing, and I'm not going to get into that with your significant other when it comes to sports.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot there you guys can talk about. You could even bring other couples on. I think that'd be fun.
Oh yeah, we'll have guests at some point. I mean, our again, not so secret goal because I'm talking about it. I would love to have some Dodger, like actual player couples, like have the player and their wife or girlfriend on the show at some point. That would be super great. I would love that.
In that instance, I think that will be the rare benefit. Should it happen, knock on wood, especially given that you're embarking on this. Should there be a lockout, I think that would be a beneficial thing to your podcast. Because like, what are players got nothing else to do now? They can talk.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll either be beneficial or it'll kill it. Because there's no baseball.
Right. Well,
I was going to go with the beneficial side of it.
And honestly, we are anticipating that there is a contingency plan for what to do if there is an extended lockout, right?
Well,
because obviously you don't know how long it's going to last.
Yeah, that's why you're not, it's still Dodgers do us part, not just Dodgers podcast, That's why.
Right, exactly. So
Bitter Dolphin fans on Facebook again says, Neil and Amy, best of luck. I will definitely be listening.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate
That's
it.
awesome.
We have a listener already.
I know, we got one.
Your first listener.
And like I said, as soon as you guys know, let us know where we can reach the show via social media, via emails, and not just,
Well, yeah,
we can use our connections to just text you in and say, hey, talk about this.
That's right. No, we'll
He's starting to do it.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I like it.
So we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're going to be on hopefully on TikTok soon. But then you'll be able to find our podcasts and all the places you would expect to find a podcast. So YouTube and Apple Podcast and Spotify. Cool. Spotify does video too, which is cool.
Yes,
so
they do.
We're going to do that. So yeah, we're going to be all the podcasty places. Probably March 13th. We'll see. That's our goal for the first episode. It might be the week after, but our goal is to have our first official episode March 13th. We may sneak one out there beforehand as a test. See if anybody's paying attention. Because like we'll get like 20 likes and we'll be like all the family, right? Because they all know we're doing this.
Well, that's how it starts, right?
My kids, exactly.
It especially with stuff like this, new adventures, it always builds.
It's right.
Right. So we don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but we're open to wherever it takes us. Honestly, it's going to be fun.
I mean, that happened with us, right? We started doing this a certain way. It was about interviewing people and sports and all that, and we totally went in a different direction after a few months.
Yeah, that was funny. So here's a story. Before I get my 5 minutes, this is not part of the 5 minutes, but I'll tell you the story from my perspective. And Ralph can disagree with this after next week. From that point on, I don't care what he says, right? It's his show. But I remember in December of 2023, I had just moved to the Arizona, to the Phoenix area, to the Arizona area. Listen to me, the Phoenix area. And I was actually out of town visiting family in December 20. I get a text from Ralph. He says, and I'm going to do my Ralph, not Ralph voice. It was, hey, I'm doing a sports radio show. You're doing it with me. And I go, okay. And that's how it started. So literally, I was pressed into service by a good friend who got the opportunity to do a show on 1580 The Fanatic. And I was just along for the ride. In fact, it was funny. The name of the show was a little bit of a funny story, not that big of a story, but we were trying to think of a name for the show. And we're going back and forth on stuff and kicking around ideas. And I was just like, well, we're both sports guys. We used to play sports. Ralph played a lot more than I did, obviously. But so we're kind of like, Yeah, so I decided Weekend Warriors. Well, I was just throwing some ideas out there, and I was amazed that that's the one that stuck.
Yeah, you were surprised.
I was like, "Oh, you actually like that name?" And then we went with it, and then we had the logo, which you see in the background, and everything went from there. And this show went through. I will say one thing: this show went through a transformation. Obviously, we decided to do NFL Sundays for a while.
Yep.
We brought in somebody that we thought was going to be a compliment to the team, and it wasn't.
Not you, Phil.
And it turned out to be not so great, and we ended up parting ways. But through that process, we ended up meeting Phil because Phil was the new producer who came on because Keon left, right?
That's right.
So then Phil was brought on, so he was producer, and frankly, thank God he was there because he carried the slack a lot of times when our previous host wouldn't say anything when he checked out and was disconnected. So it was pretty obvious. We could tell right away that Phil had chemistry.
Yeah.
And so when Ralph came to me and said, let's just have Phil on the show, I was completely in support of it. And that has obviously been a great thing.
It has.
Like I will miss the three of us chopping it up the way we do every week.
Honestly,
because
sometimes it'll be like the not show that I'll miss. Just leading up to the thing, starting out the show, laughing, and everybody wondering what we were laughing about.
Oh my goodness! Or the text chains like the week before. Oh,
yeah.
We are brutal on each other. It's pretty fun.
It's been a fun ride. It really has. And the ride's not over. It's just a different ride now, right? So we have somebody we're bringing on. We'll introduce him next week. I'm not going to talk about him this week, but we do have somebody that's going to come in and be part of this team, and we'll move forward with what we do. And Neil's moving with what him and Amy are going to be doing, which I think is great. We're going to miss you. It's been 2 years it's been interesting.
Yeah, it has.
It has. I would say that the one thing that I'll remember is me and you had a great chemistry when it was just me and you. We ran that show.
And then Phil just screwed it all up.
And we went from maybe 5 followers to the 5,000 plus that we have now.
Yep.
And it's growing continually. And it started with me and you. And you're just that guy that, man, the things that you can talk about and the things that you remember, and sometimes the things you don't remember. It's just a lot of just a lot of fun, right? It always has been. It was a good chemistry. So I'll miss you. It's good seeing you every week. We don't see each other a lot outside of this, but I'm sure we'll still find time. That's yours.
Anyway,
we'll find time still. But I mean, it's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed these last 2 years, and I'm looking forward to working with this ageist and whoever else we bring on, and what we're gonna do
Shador
going
Sanders
forward.
Truther.
That's right. So I think it's time.
It's time for Neil. He gets his 5 minutes.
First and last.
I need the crown.
5 minutes with a crown.
I need the crown, and you need to play the sounder for me.
This is long prolonged. This is a repayment for the Super Bowl of last year with where Neil was the only one on the Eagles over the Kansas City Chiefs.
That's true.
Yeah, that's what this is. Yeah, no kidding. How does it feel? Do you feel
don't
regal?
get to take that home.
I feel very regal.
Yeah.
Thank you, my people. Thank you, everybody. All right. So my message, my 5 minutes is going to be to the viewers of the show, to the fans. I've already said my piece to my two co-hosts who, I mean, obviously the three of us together make this show great, and I have no issue. I'm fully confident that you two will continue to carry the show no matter which other third wheel you get. Doesn't matter. I think I have faith in you guys. But I want to say something about the fans. I want to say something about the people, the viewers of the show. This experience has been very interesting for me from the perspective of sports fandom. Now, I know that sports fans can be a little rough sometimes. I know they can be mean-spirited, and they love to do put-downs, and they love to mock and ridicule people. But I think what's funny is that the way this show has played out, right, and kind of what we subconsciously agreed to when I started the show is that I was going to be the foil. I was going to be the jokester. I was going to be the jester in the king's court. Because as you know, for those of you who know history, the jester was the only one who could tell the king the truth and not be killed for it. So my job, well, the way I saw it, the way that I approached this was to be the contrarian. I was going to be the goofball. I was going to be the one that mixed in the pop culture commentary on things.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know some sports and I know things and I can learn things, but I saw my role as being essentially the comic relief. Now, obviously, when Phil came on board, Phil has a lot of those same skill sets. And so we adjusted as needed and it was fine. But what I've noticed that what's happened is that I feel like a lot of people here, they formed an opinion of me because of my persona. And they said I was dumb, that I was stupid. And let's be honest, some of the comments that y'all have made have been just downright hateful.
Shannon Stewart.
Yes, exactly. Shannon Stewart.
Speaking of a letter from SS.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that it's interesting to me to see how fans react. And I that's the one thing I'm not going to miss. I'm not going to miss the toxic sports fandom. Not from these guys, obviously, but from some of the fans out there. And here's my message to you. It's the saying, don't judge a book by its cover. Let me tell you this. I've been in the tech industry for over 30 years. I've built a lot of the websites that you use today. I've sold software that if you've gone to Bass Pro Shops to buy something, you've used the software of the company I work at. All right. I currently work for an AI search company. I've been in tech for 30 years. I'm pretty damn smart. All right. And just because I don't have encyclopedic knowledge of every statistic that the Cardinals have ever had, because I don't care about what the Suns do, because I don't pay specialized attention to the sport that you think is important, doesn't mean that I'm not smart. It just means I don't care. And honestly, a lot of my shtick was making fun of you. So as much as you were hating on me, the joke's on you. I was kind of making fun of you too. Making fun of the fact that some of you are so obsessed with sports that you make it your personality to the point where you equate your personal self-worth and well-being and standing in the world based on your sports knowledge. You know what? Part of my job was to poke fun at that and to kind of rib at people and say, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't take this stuff so seriously because there's a big world out there. And let me tell you, there's a lot of people who are way the hell smarter than you that know nothing about sports. And you know what? There's also a lot of really dumb people who could recite every stat of every player on every team. So you know what? It doesn't matter. Lighten up, people. Take a break. Enjoy this for what it is. And I'm out.
I would say that my wife always said, Neil is the pop culture king. He knows every little thing. No, you really are. You go back at the pop culture stuff. And I always thought that was awesome. So, point well taken.
Yes, there we go.
That was not directed to you, by the way. I want to make abundantly clear. So
it was directed at me, but that's okay.
Oh no.
No, I know. I know, dude. I've known you too long.
It might have taken you a while, but you made a really good choice in women. Eventually, like marrying me was.
That addendum was pointed. Eventually. God, I love it.
Didn't start out that way, but here we are, and it's great.
Here.
That was awesome. She's right.
Oh yeah.
No disagreement.
I mean, I've been around and seen the women you've gone out with, so
that's true.
Just say
it.
That's true.
We love Amy. We love Amy.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
hey, listen, everybody, it's been a fun ride. The show's going to be great. Look forward to following your exploits as you keep going.
And hey, make sure you message in on those socials, not the text line though, because we actually.
The text line is going to be gone. Yeah, I'll message on social once in a while. You'll hear from me.
He's not going anywhere.
And if you ever need a guest host, you know where to find me. And I'll actually have a studio that I can dial in from.
Ooh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that'd be great. So, guys, good luck on your podcast. We'll be watching.
Yeah,
thank you.
If you're out there listening, hey, take a gander, take a look at their podcast, give it a shot. Let's see what it's about. I think it's going to be interesting.
Absolutely.
I'll be listening to it, watching it, etc. So, you guys do the same. We will see everyone again next week. I had my chance to talk about my Hawks, and it felt good.
Yeah, he wants to show everybody his Hawks.
Yep, got to show you my Hawks. So we'll see everyone again next week. Phil will have a new partner and a whole new direction on things. We'll be hitting baseball and NBA because this new guy likes the NBA.
Evans to Betsy.
Anyway, it's Weekend Warriors. We'll see you guys next week. Have a great week.
Is that a hawk in your pocket, or are you just glad to see me?